Who in the blue hell is you? It doesn't matter what your name is.
What's up? With it, man?
What up, y'all?
What it do, man? Look, welcome to another episode of the Draft Nerds podcast film session. I got my boy Coach with me. You know, we're ready, always ready, stay ready. And then we got a special guest here. One, you might know the voice, might not know the face. Man, my man Jordan G.
Got a little bit longer hair than you expect.
Representing the Raven and the Pac-12, right? Big Pac-12 guy. You know, we're going first.
Hey man, if they knew the face, man, they'd probably pay tithes and offerings to my man.
Tithes and offerings. We will take tithes and offerings. So this first film we're going to jump into is the University of Washington offensive line. Now we know Troy Fautanu gets a lot of the attention, right? And for good reason. He's really that good, right? But we want to pay attention to the other tackle, the right tackle, right? Was it Josh Rosengarten, right? This kid is really technical. He's really good. He's got really good feet, and he's kind of gotten overshadowed by his teammate. But the reason why I wanted to watch his film today is because I think he presents something just as valuable on the other side, and I also think he's just as versatile as well. So it's exciting to watch this guy's film. And Coach Jordan, you guys have anything to add before we jump into this?
The only thing, it was kind of what I was talking about before the recording. An early thing you'll watch with Rosengarten is he really does adjust how he's playing based off of the edge that's playing him. You could tell he's a big film guy because you could see what he sees in film and adjust how he plays the different edge rushers based off of who's around him. It's a big thing that sticks out with him. And I know that's like a small thing to most people who don't watch a lot of draft stuff, but it's really a big thing when you watch a like guy who's kind of like more of a mid-round target and like he's sticking out because of those similar things.
Yeah. For me, that's huge. Being a coach, right? One thing that I absolutely love is an invested player, right? Especially comes down to week in developing their craft. To where, hey, look, I don't really have to scout many players or scout many things. If my players, hey, we're going to take on the opponents and say, hey, look, you know what? This is the guy I'm going against. This is my nemesis. And they make it competitive. And, you know, I love it when they say, hey, you know what? This defensive end or this defensive tackle, I got him this week, coach. He won't get to the quarterback. That's the type of stuff I really, really love because now that's basically saying, hey, look, not necessarily saying, hey, my job is easier, but having that investment makes it that much easier to basically come up with my scheme, come up with my plan. And now I know my guys are immediately bought in because now they're actually taking that time out to watch the film on their own, away from practice and stuff like that. So
100%. He's got that investment. Like that's the biggest thing with him. Like you'll see it in multiple times. Like he'll take different guys in different ways. His first step will look different based off of who he's facing. You'll see a lot of that. I don't know if it will show in this film session as much, but like overall, like I've watched him for 4 years. I used to work for the Pac-12 network. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's something awesome to see just as him as a prospect in general. I'm excited to see how his career grows.
Absolutely. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the film. And let's get it. All right, there he is, real quick. Lined up on the right-hand side, number 73 right here. Look at how he locks out, right? Like immediately, let's go before the snap. And let's watch the play in full speed first. Boom, locked out. Takes his man to the ground. Right, now let's go back and run it back again. Let's do it in slow motion this time. All right. Pause right here. Now, Coach, talk to me about that. talk to me about just his hand placement. Talk to me about the knee bend. To me, he's not overextended, right? So he's not over his skis.
Right.
He's kind of got the man. He's got the edge rusher in like no man's land, right? Where he's kind of got his legs spread apart. So this is not a position you want to be in to be able to gain leverage, right? You don't definitely don't want your legs this far apart to be able to gain leverage if you're a defensive player.
Absolutely not, because you're essentially basically putting yourself, basically like a seesaw, if you will.
Right.
Hey, you go up on one side and you're down on the other side. The one thing I really like about him is, if you notice, he didn't lunge after the defender, and then he also stayed compact enough. So, hey, once I got him, and now I can absorb whatever he tries to do to me. If you notice, when you see some tackles block, it's that initial head jerk when they go to put the hands in their face mask or whatnot. He's even able to absorb that, because you see the defender's right hand, he's trying to do it, and he's like moving his head out of the way so hey, that guy doesn't do that. He doesn't lose visibility where you got to take him to. So that's a phenomenal job early on, basically sitting and say, because you see the right hand right here again, is trying to turn him and get his shoulders from not being parallel. And he's basically like, no, I got you. This is where I need you to go. And oh yeah, by the way, watch his feet reset right after this initial strike. So his right foot will come down, then the left foot will come down, and then he reestablishes his base. And he basically essentially stands upright almost. And he's basically to say, hey, look, all right, calm down, little puppy. I got you. It's okay. You're not going to make a play this time.
What about you, Joe? What do you see in this clip?
So one thing that big sticks out to me, and you'll see this in like a lot of film with him, because I feel like this is something that sticks out too, is like, if people remember the early on draft process, a lot of people had Dylan Johnson going higher. A lot of the reason Dylan Johnson was going higher is because of how good the offensive line of UW is. Yes. One thing that you'll notice, like specifically as you probably watch this film, I haven't gotten into like the Arizona tape as deep, but like one thing you'll notice with like all of the offensive linemen on UW, they rarely look back. Like you'll see that in like a lot of late round guys, that they'll kind of look around, see what the running back's doing with the play, just to see what's going on. They don't, because they want the running back to be able to do what he can. They have that trust in him. And you'll see like that elite bend, not necessarily like towards a bend, but like you'll see him push out, and like he's almost the first guy in his stance, like immediately knows his assignment, immediately takes it on. And you love to see that aggressiveness from the get-go.
Agree. And I just love the absolute finish here. Watch the finish. Just takes him to the ground, gets on top of him. You will not be a part of this play, sir. All right, next play. Look at that. Look at just the way he dominated that rep. Steps out, boom, hands, stays in front of the guy. I mean, that's textbook. Look at this. First step.
Watch both hands.
Look at that first step.
Well, yes. And the nice thing you'll notice about like the first step pushes out, and then right afterwards, he's waiting for the other defender to adjust. He's waiting to see what they do, as opposed to letting it be what he does, because you're in pass protection. So you want to see what they're going to do. And like he does a perfect job of that.
Yeah, excellent technique. I mean, look at this. That lockout pushes him away from the play, and then stands in and says, okay, now what? Right? Because once he gets him to go wide, it's just like, all right, now we even. So where you going? Right? Excellent. Next play. Look at that. Another just great rep. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna let you take this one, Coach. Let's run it back.
So if you look at this, right, if you go back, right, this is probably one of the hardest blocks to make, right? Wide 9, right? Because a guy, you don't know if he's trying to undercut you, you don't know if he's trying to bend around you. You just don't know, right? And then also the other thing is, if you overextend too early, too far away from him, now you whiff completely. And when you whiff completely, it's hell trying to get back in position to keep him off of your quarterback, right? So what he has done, if you notice, right, his left foot is forward of his right foot. He's basically kind of trapping the guy in. Like, look, if you hit my left foot, I know to reset, right? Or if you hit my left side, I know to reset. And once he takes this first punch from this defender, if you see his feet automatically almost reset, bam, and then he automatically gets his hands back up and fully extends and say, hey, look, all right, okay, stop all this craziness. I need you to stay away from my quarterback. And the thing that I really, really love about him is his feet and his hands are working together.
Yes.
He's not, hey, he's back here and he's trying to push and he's getting pushed back. It's, hey, when he's fully extended, he resets his feet, and vice versa. If it's his arms are fully extended, he kind of stays there and drives him away from the play. So I love that about him.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to this next play. Okay, this is him getting out. All right, so let's go back. This is him getting out, and this is run blocking. So he immediately gets out, boom, goes through him, boom, stays with his man. Just does, he's solid, right? He just does exactly what he's coached to do. He looks like he's very well coached. Hand placement and feet working together, like Coach mentioned. And he just gives that really good initial punch. Let's look at that one again. He gives a really good initial punch. And then he just strong enough to just stalemate his man. Right? Watch this. Poof. Right? And boom. He's stuck. Where's he going? Right?
Yeah.
He's already anchored he's dropped his weight. He's anchored his knees. And now it's just all right. You can struggle all you want, but you're not going anywhere.
Right.
One thing that sticks out too when you're like looking at him, like as opposed to like he's an attacker versus a defender, you never see him come off where it's like somebody's attacking him, he adjusts to it. It's more so like he goes towards what he wants and he gets there. And you see like he doesn't have any backup, he doesn't like move around to what he has to do. He's really just sticking, pointing. He's sticking out there.
And then the next layer to his blocking so far, what I'm loving, is his hands don't go outside as like we looked at the film for Patrick Paul. So he's basically, even if he gets into trouble a little bit, he stays there and say, hey, you know what? I got to keep my hands inside. So that's a good sign of discipline for him. Because again, some linemen will basically get lazy and then they just come around and they'll be like, all right, I'm just going to bad hug you. I'll take the penalty. So for him to do that's for me, that's next level stuff.
Agree.
100.
All right. You see, it says Tony Khan says future Jaguar.
I know I saw that.
All right. Let's move to the next film. Next clip. All right. Cool. So he's just stalemate, right? Like the guys is like, hey man, you just take the day off. Because you belong to Mr. Rosengarten here. All right, next play. Boom, steps out, hands inside. I mean, it just doesn't matter who you put in front of him. It's the same, right? I've just seen 3 different players rush him. Same result. Look at this. Hands inside, readjusts his hands, pushes the guy outside. You're not involved in the play, sir. Sorry. I know your coach told you. Look at the feet moving side to side, the hands. Good God. I mean, no wonder Michael Penix put up all those yards, right? Like he had 2 of the best tackles in college football.
Yeah, that's right. That's true bookends, man.
Okay, look at it. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. What does he look like out in space, right? This is what I wanted to see. So let's go back. Coach, tell me what you see here. Let's go back a little bit further. Okay, here we go. All right, before the snap, let's just talk about the way he's set up, right?
Right.
Look at his position. He's right. You see, he's more of an upward position.
He's
hands on the knee.
Right. And he's not pointing either. That's the other thing too. Most of the time, people like to cheat and they kind of point and they kind of let people know, hey, look, it's either a long pass or some kind of screen. So
Well,
he's kind of the same type of
look at Troy Fatano here. He's kind of pointing that he's kind of going that way. He's even spread a little bit. You see the gap between the guard and the tackle. Like I can look at this and tell who Troy Fatano is blocking. With Rosengarten, you really can't tell. You don't know if he's going to crack down on this guy here.
All right. You finna run the play?
Yeah, let's do it. Gets out, boom.
Okay. Oh man, I love it. Because oh Lord. So if you see he didn't show hands to kind of let the guy know he's blocking him. He made the guy think he was winning the rep. So he basically essentially gave him a shoulder pass by a shoulder check almost, right? And the thing that I like is that he didn't, again, like Jay was saying, like Jordan was saying, he didn't look back. He immediately advanced up to the second level that was out there, or in this case, it's the only level that was out there.
Check out the fake. He made the end think for a second that he was going to be blocked, and then he just said, "Nope, I'm out of here." Watch this. Watch this. Nope. And you are taking this play off, sir.
Right.
And we're getting first down.
I think even adding to that too, like you give the edge like a false hope. Like the edge thinks he has like a chance in that spot because he starts like it's gonna happen, and then he goes to the second level, and that's what you love to see in an offensive tackle.
Agreed. Let's go back to that last play. What just happened? Let's see. Okay. Look like they bought. Let me see where did that guy come from.
Did you see the body control? So watch. He's gonna take his guard guy, and his guard's supposed to advance up and go towards the safety or linebacker. Watch what he does. He gets across his face, right, and then he actually tries to block back. That's a hard block to make.
Right. The fact that he can get turned around like that is
right.
Yeah, that's really good. He got turned around, was able to get in position to make a block if he needed to.
That's what you love to see too, is like the attempt. Like even if it doesn't work out fully, you love to see the attempt. This guy doesn't give up.
Why is this kid not being talked about more? Good Lord.
It's for me, man. I chop it up, man. I chop it up as to laziness, man.
Look at the lockout.
Right there.
Well, did you pay attention to his kick step too?
Yeah. Look at the lockout is crazy. What? Boom.
Love it.
You chill. You know what I mean? Like he just so technically sound. This is why, to me, you don't have to take a tackle in the first round. This is why you don't. If you're the Ravens, like at 30 or any other team, that at the end, like you don't have to, because you can get this guy in day 2, and he'll be just as good as any of those guys from day 1, and he'll play for a long time.
Right.
And he finishes blocks. It's another thing I love about it. He finishes his blocks. Let me look up Rosengarten here. While we
and that's
how tall is he?
That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna go over his athletic.
And that's the funny thing about him too, is like so many people, like if you remember the beginning of like draft process, so many people had Dylan Johnson like overhyped, and the reason it was overhyped is because of how great the offensive line of Utah played. And you see a lot of that in this film. Is like they know where to attack, they know exactly what they're hitting, and it just sticks out. Because like he gets gaps.
So I'm gonna look up his athletic profile. Rosengarten. He is. Where are you, Mr. Rosengarten?
6'7".
Oh, here we go. Roger Rosengarten. So he is 6'5", 308. Ran a 40 and 4.92. That's moving for a guy his size.
Okay.
He ran under 5.
Absolutely.
Under 5 flat, and he got it, and he's 6'5", 308 pounds. Moves really good from side to side. He was a 4-star coming out of high school. Yeah, this kid, solid as they come, man. Colorado kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing that sticks out to you when you watch him is like he's always looking to get active. There's never like a passive part about him. When you're watching him, like even if he doesn't see a guy in his like gap, he's gonna move over to see what's available. He wants to.
All right, so I love this angle now, so you can kind of see what he's seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I love this. So watch that. He's on your left side if you're watching the screen. He's like you say, he's always looking for work. Always looking for work. Always looking for work. Who wants some? Who wants some, right? Like he looked like a bouncer, right? Just you know what I mean, in the middle of a brawl.
Right. You see the end trying to avoid him, right? He's like, nah, I'm good. I won't know that.
Watch him. The kick step and then the punch. It's so consistent. I mean, he does it on every play. Hold on 1 second, fellas.
Yeah, the one thing I love about him is like he at least gets half a man all the time. And once he gets that half, once he gets that half, he's able to reset because he doesn't take a lot of time resetting. So he gets the half
looking for work.
Right. And it's crazy, man, because again, it's like you love that about a lineman because you don't have to tell them that. You don't have to tell them the small stuff. Hey, reset. When you get to the initial pop, hey, make sure you reset your feet, that type of stuff. And if he's just gonna naturally do it, that makes my job as an O-line coach super easy.
100%.
All right, fellas, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. So far, like just flawless film from Mr. Rosengarten. Even on that one, the guy got to the quarterback, but that's because Penix held the ball too long.
Yeah.
Look at that. He fights like even in the run game, like he's digging the guy out, right? Like he's trying to get him out of the hole, right? And like that's what you want to see. You just want to see a guy just fight in the run game, you know, technically sound in the pass game, you know, showing hands, kick step, punch, got a good initial punch. Those are all the things you look for when you're looking for a tackle in the NFL. And he's going to be he can play right tackle for a long time and be over there and anchor, you know, your offensive line. And so this guy would be a solid pick on day 2 for any team. Touchdown.
Yeah, I love everything about his game. And then that little play that we seen, right? He probably won't ever have to go again, like because again they look like they put their 3 tech out. They split them out wider than what they normally had them. So again, that's just a big on a big. Those type of things will happen, but for the most part, speed. He's never going to have an issue with speed, especially most of the NFL players are defensive end wise. They want to be able to rush with speed. So again, if you're not like a knot out there, he'll be fine. I think it'll still be fine. So.
Yeah, speed wise, he like all these smaller speed guys they put on him is ain't nothing happening.
And then the other thing too is remember his quarterback's left-handed, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to bring that up earlier.
So he's the blindside guy. He's the blindside guy for the quarterback in this case.
Yep. So he's basically playing the left tackle position, right, and at the right tackle because his quarterback's left-handed. That's a great point. It's a great call. He's protecting the blind side, not Furtado. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. Furtado's basically the right side, the right tackle in a traditional sense. He's the right tackle, and Rosengarten is the blind side. I'm sure scouts are having the same conversation with GMs as well. This is the guy who's protecting the blind side, not the other
Right.
guy.
It's crazy to me, man, because I like if I'm them, that's probably second or third question I'm asking them. Like, hey,
Yeah.
can you really play the left side if I need to put you there? Or are you going to do most of your dirty work on the right side? You know what I'm saying? And I think you won't have an issue. It's just a matter about like, hey, they got to ask those questions because pass pro is pass pro to me. It's just a matter of like, hey, okay, look, all right, who am I going to draw? 9 times out of 10, you're going to probably draw your fastest guy anyway. So again, him not being having an issue with speed, I still think he'll be fine.
I notice how much he adjusts too. Like based off of who he's playing, the adjustment happens. And then on top of that, while you're watching him, he's always looking for work. So if he's not directly involved in the play, he wants to be involved in the play. And that's something that really sticks out when you watch his film.
He's got a great film.
He does.
I think he's an early day 2 guy. I mean, that's where I think he should go. Maybe he goes later than that, but he's going to be a steal for somebody on day 2. If you don't get your tackle in the first round, have no fear. You got guys like this that'll be in the second round. That'll play for years.
Yeah, it's funny because like I'm the self-proclaimed UW hater. Like I'm lower on UW prospects because I've seen more of them than anyone probably. Because I just live in the Pac-12 network. Like they're literally my backyard. I see them constantly, but I've always been higher on Rosengarten than most people. Because he just sticks out. He's always trying to do something, and that's something that like you can't teach. Somebody who wants to actually make the effort towards making the play, he cares that much, and you can just see it.
I love it. They had some pretty good bookends, man. Troy Fatano and Roger Rosengarten, man, is like these are A-grade tackles, man.
Mm-hmm. When I feel like it was as you were saying earlier, Matt. Like I feel like Rosengarten doesn't stick out as much because of Fatano. Like you don't see it as much, and like when you actually start to watch the film with him, you're realizing like, damn, he's got some things that stick out a lot.
Agreed. I think Rosengarten's a starter in the NFL. I think he's a starting tackle in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that's it for the Arizona film with Roger Rosengarten. What do you guys give that one?
Loved it.
Passing grade, give it an A? Give it a B? C? What do you think?
Yeah, I would think an A. I'm not like as heavily versed into offensive line as most people are, but in terms of like what I saw, just always trying to make an impact, it sticks out to me. It's such a small thing, and like people think that every prospect does it, but like once you actually start arranging the mid-range and the late round guys, it like sticks out way more than you actually think. And it's something that really sticks out with this film is just always looking to be active.
All right, let's up the competition for him a little bit. Let's go and watch the film of Oregon, and this should be fun. Let's watch the film.
Yes, sir. It's a little bit better competition than Arizona out here too.
Yeah, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And they battled with Oregon this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a fun game.
Mm-hmm. Here he is. Oh. Is that Dorless, number 1? What number is Dorless? Is he 3 or is he 1?
It is Dorless 1.
Yeah, I think it is 2. I could be wrong though. I never remember numbers. I'm horrible with numbers.
Yeah, he's number 3. Brandon Doyle's is number 3.
Okay. Yeah, good initial punch. They run right behind him, get about 3 yards. Move the chains. This one looks like he got Doyless over top of him. Oh, no, Doyless went inside.
He goes inside.
Yeah, picked up the stunt, though. Good pickup.
Yeah.
Okay. 3rd and 3. 11 minutes left. All right. No one rushed him, so he just, securing the club, right? Securing the club.
Well, it's funny because I just talked about how he doesn't look back. That's the one time he looks back is when he's not involved, so he looks at what's around him.
Right.
You can see him looking for who he has to block.
He got overwhelmed on that one. You seen that? But he stayed with it, though. He fought.
Right.
He got taken off his foot a little bit. The power of number 1. Watch this. But he stayed. Good job, the guard coming over to help.
Yeah, help.
But he definitely got, look at that. He got knocked sideways a little bit on that. But he came back, stayed with it. Who's number 0? Touchdown. 1st and 10. Punch.
Pull over there, but
Big punch. Get the ball out quick. There's Polk. Hey man, Polk starting to rise, man. The Polk is rising. All right, kick, boom, punch. Ball out. He did a good job on that. That wasn't on him. 2nd and 10.
good adjustment. Opened up the edge right there too.
Kick, punch. Oh, gets beat a little bit.
Yeah.
He got overextended on that one. Let's go back.
Oh shucks. Okay. So number one is
Too quick.
you hear me, man?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Number 1 is Jordan Birch. He's a 6'6", 290.
Yeah, Jordan Birch. I think he's in this draft as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, look. You see this? He punched too soon, right?
Yeah, a little bit of an over pursue.
You see, look. Whenever you see a tackle or offensive lineman bent this way, bent forward, that's not a good sign. That means he's overextended. He's over his skis.
And then the other thing about being overextended like that, you essentially give the defensive lineman a 2-way go. So I can bend underneath you. I can go outside. I can do all kind of stuff.
Look at this. Okay, so he's over his skis. Then he gets around the corner. That's one thing you never want to get. You never want to get over your skis. Always want to be in a position to attack, not to be with your head down. So that's a negative rep. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see tougher competition, see how he performed, play in and play out, getting up to the 2nd level. Okay.
One thing that will stick out too, like I don't know if it will stick out as much in this film. He has a little bit of a harder time once it's like the linebacker in the 2nd level. He's a lot better when it's like a DB and he's like actually going outside of the play. The linebacker will stick out a little bit. I don't know if it will be on this specific film, but that's one thing he's got to like improve at the next level as well.
All right, good job there.
Who is that? Pass.
Is that Pope again? Yeah, that's Pope. Pope making plays. Okay. He fights.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, good.
If you pay attention, go back, Matt. Watch the pass off on this play. Right. I don't know if this is called but watch the fluidity between him and his guard. Just watch. Watch the pass.
Yeah, that was good.
Crazy.
That was good.
Crazy that we be able to do that.
It's been insane, man. Knowing what, hey, we doing our job, Kick step, punch. There you go. Good job.
Nice.
These receivers are making a lot of plays. So you seeing 1, then you seeing 2, then you seeing 11, then you seeing 0. They just Washington had a really good thing over there, man. Really good offense.
They all fill their like they all fill each other perfectly. Like all 3 of them together make up what makes UW wide receivers so good and so like sticking out on film.
See that, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Takes the inside man, then jumps out to the outside guy. Blocks 2 guys on 1 play.
It's crazy. That's crazy. That's nuts right there. You can't teach that, man. You can't teach that. You can't teach that because most players, when they see that going inside like that, it's like, hey,
and they're gonna stay with it, right?
When I see my favorite toy, I gotta stay with it. I gotta play with my favorite toy. Oh, wait a minute, I see something else coming. That's next level stuff, man, for real.
And it goes back to like a lot of like how you could tell he watches a lot of film. You could see like different things they like to approach with, and like he sees that live as it's happening, which is super nice to see.
Nice. Rosengard slide inside. Again, man, he's consistent. Does he get beat sometime? Yeah, but they all do.
Yeah.
We can pull it up, and I can show you times when he's gotten beat. Same thing with Fashanu on the other side. They all do, but he's consistent.
I go back to it too, where it's like you just love the willingness. The willingness sticks out like a sore thumb. He's always looking to get involved on the play, even if the play doesn't involve his block assignment.
Coach, let me ask you: could you see him playing guard at the next level?
I could. It depends on how much they're going to ask him to advance upfield, because of the issue. The issue is going to be with that is you have linebackers coming through the A and B gap late, and it's just it could get real cloudy in there. And him saying he want to find work, sometimes that work may not be the most dangerous. So I wouldn't want him to be confused. You know what I'm saying? Like I want him to, if he's going to block a certain way and have a certain role, I would want to keep him in something that he's comfortable with what he's doing. Because again, the different team, like you don't see a lot of power with Washington. They're basically playing with what their space they got. They're not going to run a bunch of trap, a bunch of power. And if you start to do that, I just think you limited his ability.
Yeah, and one thing that will stick out with that too is like it hasn't shown as much on this film yet, but in terms of like he's not as great like attacking the linebacker level. He's much more of a horizontal mover as opposed to a vertical mover. And like you see that stick out in his film at times. Like he'll hit a vertical really well when it's like in the DB in space when you're doing like a screen or something like that. But he does like have moments where he'll over pursue or read the wrong guy as a linebacker in that situation.
Okay, good tone. Like it. Slide.
Another thing you'll see like too when he's like in there too is like you'll see when he has an offensive guard to help, he'll always push him towards the help, which is something that's like kind of rare with linemen. Is like you'll see an offensive tackle see, okay, I got the help here, let me push him more towards into what I have. As it like that goes back to like the film thing. He's really big film study. You can tell how he watches.
Yep, agreed.
It's crazy. It's crazy what he's doing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know what to say.
Another thing is too, like when his assignment leaves, you'll always see him moving.
Look at that play. Getting on the second level.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the inside guy and then getting up to the second level. Where you going? You get some too.
Right.
He's always moving. That's what sticks out. Even when his assignment leaves, like he's always moving with what the play
Like
is.
you say, he always looking for work, man. Always looking for work.
Sorry, my eyeballs just jumped because Jackson Holiday got called up, but we back to football.
Yeah, I saw that too.
We Orioles fans out here too.
Slide down, get outside. Who is that? Odunze? Yeah, it's Odunze.
You know, if there's a clutch Cats, it's a Dunze out there.
Nice clean pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't even have to throw that now. Just now. He could have just stepped up and like, all right, let me go take these yards.
Other thing is too, you'll see him like pushed back, but then once he's pushed back, you never see like a livingness to like give up. He's pushing forward once he's pushed back.
Right.
You'll really see that stick out as well. Like right there,
Look at
boom,
that.
forward.
Good block. Good block. I love it, man. I love it. I mean, the kick slide inside or outside is really good. The hands are good. And he fights all the time to regain leverage, which is something you appreciate. Even if he gets taken off balance initially, he fights to regain that leverage. Perfect. All right, what we thinking?
Like him.
Seen him against Oregon. We've seen him against Arizona.
I like him. I like him.
Well, and like this goes back to my point too, where you can see him a lot and like the difference in tape. Like he changes how he approaches something based off of who he's facing. Like you'll see him a lot in this tape, like go back a little bit more than you saw against Arizona, but then you'll see him pull forward because he notices when they go back and then he pushes forward. Like he changes based off of the edge rusher he's facing, and that's like the biggest thing that sticks out with me with him.
You see him just maul the defender just now. He knew it was going to be 100% pass pro, and he just sumo slaps the crap out of this guy to death.
Yeah, 100%. And like the funny thing is, right after you see him do that sumo slap, you'll also see him start just like trying to push him towards the inside,
right?
Which is like pushing him towards his strength.
He said, "Buddy was ready." He sure was. Big number 73, Roger Rosengarten.
Yes, sir.
As solid as they come. This is 4th and 6. Clutch.
All right, away.
Get the first down.
Golly, that pocket was stupid crazy. Just not.
Yeah.
And saw it right away. Didn't even take him a second.
You got to have it on defense. You got to get off the field. And they give him a clean pocket like that. Man, look at that. Touchdown.
See, this thing that always sticks out with me too is like Dylan Johnson. People always tried to hype him up at the beginning of this draft process. Not as much of Dylan Johnson. It's everything on that O line. He does a fine job with what they give him. I'll give him that.
Yo, they just had Jalen Polk in the backfield.
Yeah, they do some weird things at UW.
Yeah, they get creative with these guys, man. Shows their versatility. All right, here it is. All right. Ooh. That was a good goal line stand.
Yeah, Oregon defense. I was gonna say Oregon defense is playing.
Yeah, they are. Oh,
Jalen this
Polk.
game too is like what kind of decided a lot of the Pac-12 at this point.
Polk was going nuts in this game. Make me excited to watch his film now. Oh, is that Polk again? It sure is. No, that's Odunze. Sorry, that's Odunze.
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes Roger Rosengarten, number 73 on the field, number 1 in your heart. All right, Coach, give me your takeaway, Coach.
Look, he is definitely going to challenge your starting offensive line if you do draft this guy. Even if he's not going to be a starter, he's definitely going to challenge somebody to be on the field. I love his game because he's a student of it, and you got to understand is like, hey, you know, some coaches got to kind of spoon feed you into wanting to love the game. With him, you don't have to do that. So for me, I'll take that over a guy that's a little bit more talented than him, but just doesn't love the game of football versus a guy that's not as talented and love the game of football. So for me, he gets extra kudos for that. And the only reason why he's probably not for our first day because we only got 32 picks. But if people were not falling in love with the shiny objects, he should be a day 1 pick. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, what you think, Joy?
I think like when you watch UW's offense, there's all these big names that stick out that some of them fall under the cracks. He's one of them. He really sticks out in terms of how much effort he puts in. Once again, going to Coach's point, you see so much of what he sees on film and how he trusts what he sees on film, which is a big thing because you could watch film, but there's a difference between watching film and trusting what you see on film, being able to adjust on the fly. There's a lot of to like, even if he's not like a starter right away, you know, if like your offensive lineman gets injured, you're not in a bad spot with him being your tackle.
All right. Well, up next. There you have it real quick. Up next, we got the quarterback, Keaton Slovis of BYU. But to put a cap on Roger Rosengarten, man, you're in good hands with Rosengarten, man. Get him on day 2 and put him on the right side, and he'll be there for 10 years. Yes, good tackle prospect. Troy Furtado gets a lot of attention, and rightfully so, but Roger Rosengarten is a good football player. All right, let's jump into this quarterback film, man. This is always my favorite. I love quarterback play. And this is a guy, Keaton Slovis, that I really like. So let's dive into this. This is against Kansas, who was a really good football team last year. Oh, man, look at it. All right, so first of all, the first thing I want to point out is the mechanics are really good, right? Watch how he's calm in the pocket, right? Calm in the pocket, fakes, gets his shoulder squared. Now look, right? Standing tall is exactly what you want, right? Now he steps into the throw. And did you notice how he twisted his hips and pushed through the pass? His left foot was stepping forward towards the target, and he really got his hips into that throw. Now, it's tight coverage, as you can see on the receiver here. So he would have to either make a perfect pass or the receiver would have to go up and make an unbelievable catch because of the coverage is so tight, and you can see the safety coming over. But from a mechanic footwork standpoint, that was clean. Okay. I think it's the same play. from a different angle. Yep, steps into it.
You know what else sticks out with it too?
It was right over the DB's arms, but receiver didn't quite bring it in. But it was right over his arms. Watch this. Boom. Play action. All right, get your shoulder square. Now step into the target. Boom.
You know what else you'll notice with
Yeah,
it
the
too?
decision might not have been the smartest. He probably had someone else that was open, but I like the mechanics. Go ahead.
One thing with the mechanics too is like you'll see that his feet have no wasted movement. Like he stops when he needs to, he plants when he needs to, and that's like a big thing you'll see. Like a few of these mid-round quarterbacks, they don't really have like the greatest footwork. His footwork stops when it needs to, and that's such a huge thing.
Agreed. All right, here we go. Next play. Ball out quickly.
Nice. Yeah. See, I love that. There's no setup or nothing. It's just, hey, ball's out. I love it. It's like to the point where
wasted motion is something that's constant with young quarterbacks. No wasted motion. Like you said, it takes a snap, gets the ball out.
Especially when you have the quickness of him too, because he's really fast. Like you'll see it a little bit more in this tape, but he has some tendency to be able to run as well. And like,
I love that.
And when you have a guy who can run, they typically have wasted foot movement.
Coach, he knew he was going to get hit. He hung in the pocket and delivered the football. Watch this. Right in the kisser. But he stands in. He watches eyes, right? He goes left, comes back, middle, boom.
Right where the blitz goes. Right where the blitz comes from.
Right where the blitz came from, and he stood there. He took the shot. So you'll see it right here. Better angle. All right. Eyes go to the left. Then he comes back. Boom. Ball out. That's really good. Really good. Like that a lot. All right. Play action. Ball out. Oh, I love it.
Oh, Lord.
So quick.
That's
no wasted motion. I mean, he's like the gun, boy. His ball's getting out.
Right. Like you look at these multiple collisions of these blockers, and his ball's already out there coming. There's no time to recover for the defense.
Agreed. Okay. Steps. Boom. I love it.
I seen that developing up here, man. It take what the defense gave you.
Bro, look at this.
Once again, goes back to the no wasted footwork too.
That's the way you coach it. That's the way you want to see it. Listen, when I'm coaching quarterbacks, that's exact. I want 3-step drop and boom, ball needs to be out, right? Watch this. Watch this. Snap. 1, 2, 3. Step. Boom.
And you see the plant too. The plant's right there.
Yep. And again, his shoulders are square, and he's stepping to the target. Here it is again.
Yeah, watch his read on 28. Watch he say, 28 is going to vacate. Okay, he vacates the middle. Thank you.
Yep. Take it. It's like stealing. I'm telling you, it's like stealing money. Okay. Now step up, climb the pocket. I'd like to see him climb the pocket a little more on that.
Yeah.
Step out of the pressure, like, because he can move, right? So I'd like to see him kind of step through the trash. Okay. Boom, boom. All right, now climb through the trash, right? If he'd climbed up a little bit, I think he would have either had some space to run, or he would have saw one of his targets. Here, you can watch this. Fake. All right, now step through the trash. You see, he didn't step through all the way. He didn't climb the pocket. He just kind of stepped, right? I would like to see him climb the pocket in that situation. Okay. He shows the athleticism a little bit. A little option. A little. Little read option. Get a nice pitch.
Put it out at the right time too.
Play only works if the defense respects the athleticism of the quarterback. Okay, athleticism right there.
Oof.
Don't take the hit. Slide.
Yes, you don't want to take.
Because you can see his athleticism though.
I don't like the makeup of the play either though. Because defense got numbers over there. If you go back pre-snap,
it's the short side of the field.
Yeah, and defense got all the numbers. I think they got 5-4, and then one of their guys goes away, and the tight end comes across, and it's never matched up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when that guy goes away, and see they got numbers, and that's why he takes a shot like that.
It looks like he got the first down though.
Yeah.
That's probably what they just get the first.
Yeah, it probably was a tendency breaker for them. They could call it that like that, so they can kind of keep them off guard.
Yeah,
start right away.
You see that? Fake step throw. He's really accurate on those play action shots. He's just getting the ball out quick. He'd be outstanding in the Shanahan system.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be outstanding in that system because of his athleticism. Oh, look at that! Oh, you see the shot? Oh my! I mean, it was, and I mean, look at this.
Teach it.
Roll to the right, step. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this kid is so underrated. No one's talking about him, but someone's going to get a steal on day 3, and I hope it's my Ravens. I really do. Because right now, we don't have a developmental quarterback on the roster, and this kid would be perfect. But I'm telling you, one of them Shanahan's get a hold of this kid. You telling me he can't go and do what Brock Purdy's doing in the league?
Mm-hmm.
You put him on a stat roster with good play calling. Imagine him in Minnesota with what he got, and they run the Shanahan system. Look at that. On the run. I said it earlier in the space. He's one of the best quarterbacks in this draft when throwing on the run, and you're seeing it. Always a passer. Step. Now get the ball out. I love it. Obviously, he has limitations, which is why he's not a first-round pick or anything like that, but he's got a lot of good tools. Step, throw. I like it.
He sees it right away. Like, he's always looking. He's not even looking at the running back in those plays. He's looking straight towards what he sees open.
What's up, brother? Special teams, special plays, special players. Yes, sir. Look at it. I mean, I just love he just gets the ball out, man. He just plays point guard at a really high level, and that's what you want. Like, when I'm running and designing my offense, I just want my quarterback to play point guard. Right? You don't got to be a star. Just get the ball to the playmakers and let them make you look good. Okay, watch this. Step, boom, top. Oh. Woo!
I just picked up on something that I looked up just now. He's from Arizona, Scottsdale, and if you know anything about Arizona football, they throw the ball more than they even think about running.
Yeah, they do. They got a lot. It's 7 is big down there.
Right. So this is probably why he's slinging it around the yard like this.
Bro, look at this. Okay, so I love the footwork. Mechanics is big for quarterbacks. And watch this. No wasted motion. Snap, 1, 2, 3, step, ball out. That's all. It should be whatever the drop count is. So it should be 2-step, 3-step drop. And then the only thing after that is a step and getting rid of the ball. No hitching, none of that. Watch this. Step, 1, 2, 3, step into it. Boom. Right on top. He didn't lead him too far. Go ahead. He didn't lead him too far where he could have gotten the guy killed. Man.
He takes that perfect plant step too. Like, it just sticks out. Like, he sticks the plant perfectly.
Well, that's what I coach that. right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Step to your target. Boom. Step to your target. Let the ball go. I mean, I love that. Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. What's up, Ali? I love it. Okay. Boom. Ball out. I mean, bro, if you get an offense that runs with rhythm and pace and let this kid, and you get some weapons and let this kid play point guard, man, listen, this is fits for defense. Because before you can even get your wherewithal, your wits about you, the ball's out. You don't even have a chance to make a play. And look, you can see the defense is frustrated. He playing point guard. And that's what you want. Oh, he hesitated. He hesitated. But let's watch it again. I think he wanted to go upfield. Oh, he wanted to go up. I think it was a tight end. Watch this. Right here, this guy right here. I think he wanted to go here. Yeah, so he thought about it, and then he pumped, and he dropped it down. I think he realized that safety was back there, and he said, never mind. But that's a good play.
I didn't want to look at neither, though.
No, he wasn't. I think that's why he pumped. He was like, because he was ready to go, right? Watch this. 1. All right, I'm ready. Never mind. you ain't ready, bro. Right. You're going to make me throw a pick. You know what I'm saying? But that's quarterbacking, man. That's quarterbacking.
Yeah. Take what they give you.
Taking what they give you. Okay. Pump fake. Put it out there. That's a good defensive play, but I think the receiver could have did a better job of fighting for the ball. But watch this. Pump fake. Put it up. Give your man a chance. Gave him a chance. It looked like it hit him in his hand. Am I wrong? Hold on. It looked like it hit him in his hand. Ball's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the angle. Watch his hands. Yeah, the defense back was putting his hand in there, but come on, you got to grab that.
Mm-hmm. Or at least make a better attempt.
Yeah, like I feel like if that's Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, he's snatching that. Okay, changing the play. Okay. Oh no, he's getting the play from the sideline. Okay, now he's changing the play. Okay. He shows really good command and control. Get the ball. Oh, look at that in the flat.
I was finna say, Matt, they got the strength to the left because if you look, the overhang's to the right of the screen right now, so they're all balanced, and then nobody goes with them. So it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, too, number 78 is Kingsley Somatea, the big left tackle. So if you want to kind of check and see what he's doing, he's a guy that's been mocked to the Ravens a lot. End of the first, second round. Bro, he quarterbacking. That's all I'm going to say. He quarterbacking. This kid's playing, man. Play action. Step. Ball out. I'm not mad at that because they had a safety screaming over. That ball would have to been released like a second earlier in order for him to get it in there. Yeah. Watch this. Ball out right here. Right? You see, it like he was a half a second. He was like a full second actually too late getting that ball out.
Yeah.
If he gets that ball out, like soon as he turns his shoulders, it's a touchdown. He was kind of waiting until he saw it before he let it go. Okay, play action. Hips around. Really good setting up the screen. Really good setting up the screen. I love this finish. Kid. I love this kid. I love it. And let's check out 78 real quick. So I'm gonna tell you. See what he did. Okay, washing the guy down. All right, solid. Man, I like this kid a lot. Man, if he gets into that Shanahan system, or if he gets with Andy Reid, with Mahomes in him, he's tough too. If he gets with Andy Reid and he gets to learn from Mahomes, or if he can get with a Shanahan system, unbelievable. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing him with Tom Monken. I mean, Monken definitely has a little bit of that spread in his game, and he could run this offense. He can run our offense really good. It will look different than the way Lamar runs it, because he's a rhythm and timing passer. Unlike Lamar's more of an improviser, but I think he still has the skill set to do some other things. He could be a good fit. That was a poorly. What the? That was play. Our guy, what was that? Number 54 jumped on the ball. That was, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see it on this.
It turned worse.
To an outside.
All right. I'm watching two prospects. I'm watching Slovis and Samatev. All right, here we go. Oh, kick slide in the pocket. Woo!
That's like Kingsley stuck out on that one.
Yeah, Kingsley did stick out on that one. Watch this. Number 78. Boom. Lockout. You ain't going nowhere. That ball was too high on us. I think he had a chance. But he would have had to release the ball earlier.
Yeah. The defender stepped in the passing lane for the underneath type of throw, so he had to throw it up over his head.
Yeah, he would have to layer it.
Yeah.
Okay. Those last two throws were late getting out. He got to be quicker.
Yeah.
This right here. Watch this. They got to go. Like, you should have released it as he was coming across. But it's cool. All right. Okay. Play action. Step. Throw. Oh.
Good Kingsley too.
Oh. Receiver stumbles and still able to get up and catch the ball. Look, you see the defender. Oh, fuck. Like when you see DBs getting frustrated, man. I mean, like, hey, this kid dropping dimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Switch. Oh, flip the hips. Get your body square. Good decision. Get rid of the ball. Nobody's open. I'm just saying. I'm looking at the mechanics more than the completions, and like, watch this. Flip his hips. Nothing's open. Right, but like. That's not a hard. I mean, that's not an easy play to make, to be able to go to your roll out to your opposite to your weak side, right, to the opposite shoulder, and be able to turn and get your shoulder square and get rid of the ball. That's harder than people think it is.
I somebody in the middle trying to come down and press him and press that window. Watch what he does. That's crazy.
Quick
so he didn't even allow this guy to press that window. He's like, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a mouse.
Okay.
Make a mouse.
All right, here we go. Hey, that's a nice play. He pump fakes and then goes up to the big tight end.
Right.
Right here. Bumps. I like to see him get a little more zip on that. And then maybe he can catch it and run a little bit, but it's a good decision. All right, this is good to see him on the center. Want to see him on the center. Play action. I mean, a lot of the quick game. I mean, it's a lot of what you see in the West Coast offense. A lot of play action. His mechanics are just so clean, bro.
Yeah.
For a guy who no one is really talking about. For a guy that he dropped it. It's a
Well,
good
and the funny
pass.
thing about it is too is like when you watch him, like it's not even sticking out what actually is part of his film too, which is in the film as much. But like he's the fastest 40-yard dash in the combine. That doesn't necessarily stick anything, but like he's a lot better of an athlete than people even realize because you're
What
just
was his
seeing him
40?
take all these dropbacks.
What's his 40?
I believe it's 4.55.
Nice. How tall is he?
6'3".
6'3"? Nice.
Yeah, 6'3", 215.
Oh, that's prototypical right there. 6'3", 215. And you run a 4.5?
Yeah.
That's plenty to work with. Oh, it was to a pick six. They almost got him. It's a bad decision right here. Play action. He just wanted to get it out quick, but they was reading it. They was sitting with it the whole time.
Yeah. I'm interested in what 2 was doing on that play because you had one receiver trying to run a whip route, look like, but what was 2 doing?
Incomplete.
We did try to throw it away from him.
Mm. Oh, wow, that got to be a flag.
Oof.
God
Right
dang.
there.
God dang.
It doesn't have elite playmakers out there. You could definitely say that.
He definitely doesn't.
Doesn't have any receivers that's really helping them out. Okay, deep ball. Oh, that's a dime.
You see, opposite hash though.
Yes, that's a hard throw.
I didn't even realize he was throwing it that way at first.
Look at that. Oh. The receiver just falls down. Like, come on, receiver. Stay on your feet. If he catches that ball, he might score. If he stays on his feet, he might score.
Then we turn around, we drop one.
Yeah, I know.
Lord have mercy.
We were just having fun too.
Kingsley is out of the game. Did he get hurt? No elite athletes at the skill position, but he's making some pretty good decisions. I mean, Kansas was a pretty good team last year.
Mm-hmm. Is this last year's film?
Yeah, they were undefeated for a while.
Dang, you can probably see Austin Booker in here too.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yes, sir. You can tell by the awkwardness.
Oh.
Did not like that throw. Want to see what's on the backside of him. Oh yeah. Backside was coming open.
Yeah, nobody bid on that play call. Like there's 3 guys around the football at that time.
Yeah, 100%.
So it looked like empty.
Austin Booker got him.
Man, you could tell the defensive coordinator was telling them like, look, hey, stay home. Look,
they made it.
They're 5 wide, and they still got 3 linebackers in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and they made adjustments. You could tell they made adjustments from earlier.
Right.
Kingsley's out of this game. He must have gotten injured. Another deep shot. Man. He has some deep ball accuracy, which is good. Step. One thing I like about him is he doesn't have happy feet, right? He's very calm in the pocket.
Yeah.
His feet are very calm. I like that.
His plan, too. It just sticks out. And it's weird because normally somebody with that athleticism, like if you're able to move that fast, normally you do have happy feet.
Oh, that was a bad example.
Yeah.
See, now he makes decisions here because he shouldn't do that pass. Watch this. This was a poor decision to get outside of the pocket. Just run, bro. Just run. You got space out there. Just take the yards they give you and slide. Trying to make a play. First of all, you never throw the ball against the grain, right? You never run to one side and throw the ball backside across the middle. That's a cardinal sin. See, I'm noticing a lot of the stuff that was open earlier is no longer open. They've made adjustments. A lot of the backside screens. See? They ran that same play earlier multiple times. It worked earlier. It's not working now.
Mm-hmm. They've adjusted.
Yeah, defense going to make adjustments, which is good. I wanted to see that. What does it look like when they make adjustments? Okay. Pick.
Oh, yeah,
Not good.
Terrible.
Receiver not even looking. Receiver's like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah,
receiver. Probably big miscommunication. He probably thought it was a post, or it looked like it could have been an option route too. Because if it's an option route, it's basically saying, hey, if I don't got nobody over top of me, I'm gonna just keep going straight up. But if I got somebody over top of me, I'll bend it. And I think
definitely like he wasn't expecting the ball though.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I was gonna say it goes to the other point of BYU too, is like you don't have a lot of like elite separators and not really a lot of good receiving talent, so you'll see him take a few more risks than he needs to.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. How did you drop that pass, bro?
He probably did him like old boy that do the skits for the NBA when LeBron lost the finals. He walks in and cuts everybody out. I know for a fact, man, that's how this guy felt, man.
How did you drop a pass wide open across the middle?
Wow.
Dude was wide open and dropped it. This guy, he came back to the same play, looked like.
Literally right as I made my point about the receiving talent down here.
Yeah. Ain't much going on down there. BYU. They got a good tackle. They got a good quarterback prospect.
Taking what to give him.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good adjustment.
Yeah.
Good adjustment right there.
Hit him on the sideline. It's a good pass.
You can't just let him sit back there and pitch and catch though.
No, he will tell you what. But one thing I noticed, he doesn't have elite arm talent. Like his arm isn't. Well, he doesn't have a strong arm. I should say that.
Right.
He doesn't have a. I think his arm is strong, but don't get me wrong. But I don't think he doesn't have elite arm strength. And you can see sometimes the ball takes a little bit of time getting there when it's those wide, those deep out throws. Mm-hmm. It takes time getting out there. Obviously, if for him to be a day 3 prospect, it's obviously it's because he's not obviously he's not perfect, and he definitely has some things that you can work with. Also that he has some limitations as well.
Mm.
I like him a lot. I like his mechanics, and I like his ability to go through reads. I like his mechanics. I like his ball placement at times. Sometimes he can make bad decisions. But he's showcased everything in this game. He's shown the quick game. He's showcased the deep throw. He showcased athleticism and moving in the pocket from left to right. Plenty of things to work with.
Yeah, if I'm a team like Denver, I'm not stressing if I don't get my quarterback at 11.
Yeah. Always going through progression.
He could definitely run a Sean Payton offense, like because he's a quarter. He's a point guard. He's gonna run it just the way he want it. He's not gonna hold on to the ball for a long time like Russ did.
And see, those are catches, man. With
I think too is he's not really waiting for things to like get open. He's progressing. He's looking through his reads constantly.
Oh, he grabbed him.
That should be a penalty. Yeah, that should be a penalty. Yeah, the flag came out. Okay, cool. Yeah, he definitely hooked him. And then he gonna put his hand up like what? Oh, that's almost another pick. His guys aren't separating, so those throws are different.
Yeah.
So most people will look at this and say, "Oh man, he can't throw the deep ball." His guys are one-on-one outside, and there's no separation.
Well, and that's part of the reason you'll see a little bit of like the conventional like decision making too. Like he'll make some bad decisions, but a lot of it's because he doesn't really have a lot of guys he could trust to be able to make up and do those big things. Like the only time his receivers are open are on crossing routes.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's because it's schemed up that way.
Right. His guys have no catch radius whatsoever. It's literally that big.
They are. When he throws it up, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's a 60-40 ball to the defense.
Right.
He laid on that one.
Yeah.
He laid on that one. Get him right now. Bam.
You wait long, you wait wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it is.
Climbs up the pocket, on a run, finds this guy coming across the route. Kingsley back in the game, by the way.
There he is to finishing someone too.
That was Booker.
Oh, that was yeah.
He got a pancake as soon as he came back in the game, man.
Yeah. Notice how the plays got better as soon as he came back. All right.
You can tell it's Booker too with the Hawkins.
Oh, look at that. Look at the pocket. Oh, my gosh. How did you take a sack? Throw that away, son.
Right. Turn the clock got to be going off.
Watch Kingsley work on this play. 78 on your left. Right there. Look at that. Just sit down, son. Just sit down. I hate to say this. Y'all know who Kingsley remind me of?
Who?
It reminds me of Ronnie Stanley. Doesn't it? Ronnie Stanley. That's where he reminds me. It's funny. I'm looking at him. Huh?
This kid reminds me of his two quarterbacks, but they're like intertwined. It's Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel athletic ability. Like that, the way he's able to move around and make magic happen. I just think he's a more polished, like, hey, I'm not going to go out and take big risks type of guy.
Yeah, no, he's not as much a slinger as Baker, though.
Yeah.
He's more conservative. Oh my God! I hit him right in his hands. What are you doing?
Wow. And then he turned and looked to see where the ball was going instead of going trying to track it down. Lord have mercy. Golly.
This is frustrating. Boys receivers is selling.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they're not even running hard now. They just it's like, all right, okay, go ahead and knock this ball down. I know y'all gonna knock it down.
The pocket got so much cleaner for him though when Kingsley came back in. That's kudos for Kingsley.
Yeah, truth.
All right. What we think? Keaton Slovis, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Awesome. Give me your take, Coach. What do you think about Slovis?
I like him. I like him. I think he's going to be towards the end of the draft. However, it's just like what we were alluding to. It can be a great compliment to what you already have. Again, the team that sticks out to me would be Denver. Another team, I don't know who they have. Maybe did Seattle sign Marcus Mariota?
They got Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Yeah.
But yeah,
went to Washington, the Redskins. I mean the Commanders. My bad.
Yeah. So he can do that. I think he can end up going to Denver or a place like Atlanta as well. What they're doing. So again, it's I like his game. Again, you're not going to get a lot of praise though because again, where he plays, the school he plays, the conference that he plays, the competition that he plays. So again, lazy reporters or scouts are probably going to write this kid off and say, "Hey, he's less than" or whatnot. I like him. I like what he got going on. He can start out as a good backup with the proper mentoring. He could probably end up just like you were talking about when we first started out in the Brock Purdy type of role. You got some things that's already going. Hey, I need you to come out here and make some safe, deliberate throws, and we'll be okay.
All right. Well, we got 2 more guys to go through. We appreciate everybody chiming in and, watching, tuning in with us, watching film on the 2024 NFL Draft Prospects. So far, we've gone over Roger Rosengarten of Washington, right tackle. And we just went over Keaton Slovis, quarterback from BYU. Up next, back to the Pacific Northwest, we go to the University of Washington and Mr. Jalen Polk. Someone who's just near and dear to Jordan's heart.
You tough hater.
It's so funny though, because like a couple weeks ago, I was talking about Jalen Polk, and I said I was doing a live stream with you, Coach, and I said Jalen Polk reminds me of TJ Houshmandzadeh. Didn't I tell you that? I said, when we was watching it, I said, you know who he reminds me of? TJ Houshmandzadeh. And you was like, oh, okay. And then Steve Smith puts out a tweet and says, my comp for Jalen Polk is TJ Houshmandzadeh. So without further ado, let's get into some Jalen Polk. We all know Mr. Odunze. We all know Mr. Michael Penix. But this is the guy, number 2, who I think will be a steal in the draft on day 2. I think he's not, like Steve Smith said it perfectly. He's not fast, but he's also not slow. He's got strong hands. He doesn't drop anything. His drop percentage is like almost 0. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's really low. He is strong. He plays a lot like TJ Houshmandzadeh. If you remember TJ Houshmandzadeh in his prime, he was a guy who was just reliable, bro. He would just catch first downs. He would move the chains. He would go across the middle. He can even get deep if you need him to. He was just an all-around, just solid, good wide receiver. And you need those type of guys on your team. Everybody's not going to be a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, a star, but you need those solid just guys that are going to catch the football and just get open, right? And when I think about that, I think about guys like, what's the receiver name in San Francisco? Not Debo, not Ayuk. What's the other guy?
Jaquan Jennings.
Yes. So I think about a guy like Jaquan Jennings, right? I think about a guy like, for years, a guy like Hines Ward back in the day, right? Guys who were never considered stars, but they're just good wide receivers that play for a long time. And, I think about a Jaquan Jennings. I think about a TJ Houshmandzadeh. In today's NFL, I'm trying to think other guys who play that role where they just, for years, they just catch the football and they're solid. Right. I think about Juju early in his career, right? I'm trying to think. Just guys who just are solid. They might not be the superstar, but he's going to be a consistent guy who catches a lot of passes during the season, and he's going to help you win games. And that's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So, without further ado,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. But I'll be
All right.
coming back in. It's not because I just hate Jalen Polk either.
all right, here we go. All right, Jalen Pope. Let's get it against Oregon. I wanted to start off against Oregon because they got Kyrie Jackson, who's a really solid corner. So I wanted to kind of see what he did against those guys. Here he is, right here, getting some love in the blocking in the run game. All right, we got 1st and 10. Second and 13. They're behind the sticks. Play action. I don't know who pinning.
I bat it down. Somebody bat it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bat it down. Yeah. Number 1.
So it's 6'6", 290 to get you.
Yeah. I think with that to him, there he is right there in the slot.
Yeah.
Comes down. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, they interfered with him, but they didn't call it number 9 or 8 that he interfered with him, but they didn't call it him.
Oh, he got thrown. Watch number 7. Watch what he does to Pope. Oh, he got bent over another guy. Okay.
Welcome to my view.
He got bent over another guy. Not a good throw.
No.
It was too late. That's a timing route. You can't hold the ball that long.
Yeah. It's 1-2. If it's there, go.
What Scout said, Penix's game was where he struggled a lot was all the short throws. Like he's really good at the deep ball, like a 3-point shooter. But when look at that, see, he throws a deep ball and he's like hitting them on the money. But anything underneath, he struggled with.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a big consistency thing with him too.
Well, if you look at it, his mechanics is so lanky. He has a Randall Cunningham type of mechanic.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, when he draws back, look how far away the ball is away from his body, and then look at his windup when he's doing the throw.
Yeah. He's bringing the ball from like behind his shoulder. Is that Pope? Yeah, it's Pope.
Yeah, it is.
Catch and run. Get the ball to him.
And I will say, as much as I am the UW hater guy, I do like Polk more than McMillan.
Like he's tough, and like again, he's not slow by any stretch of imagination. He's not a speed guy, but he's also not slow. Kyrie is that dude. That's your boy Eric. Millen popping the film. Okay, there he is, the bottom of your screen. run play. So he will mix it up in the run game. That's one thing I do like about him. He will throw his nose in there, block a DB. You know, I like that about his game.
And he sticks out too because there's not a lot of people of his profile like in this draft class. That's why I do worry he's going to get a little overdrafted just because somebody's going to see the big, tall receiver. And there's not a lot of them in this class.
Well, I think he belongs in day 2. And that's the route where he's going to go. He's going to go second round. I don't see him going first round. First round would be an overdraft. Second round, depending on obviously we're in the second round, I think that's where he belongs. So we're picking at the bottom of the second round. To me, that's fine. That's the right value. But if you're talking like early second round, no, because you're gonna have better options on the board. Day 3, round 3, he won't be there. Day 3, he won't be there. So,
and one thing that I go back with the Washington receivers, they really promote this. Like in their building, it's literally in my backyard. It's 10 minutes away from me. They will not put a receiver on the field if they can't block. It's something that they preach in that building.
You see it.
Yeah.
Got to block.
Yeah,
Penix definitely has a long release, bro. Like he's like he's pulling it. Why does Polk not run block more aggressively if he's so tough? Well, he's a receiver. Look at that catch.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say it's his strength. I just think blocking is something that he doesn't mind doing, and that's all you ask for. That's a great goal to show. Tough kid. Look at that. That was a tough catch.
It also depends on the type of run play too, because like if I'm not having them doing an end around, I don't need them to stay engaged that long. So
no, he just needs to get in the way. Right.
Yeah.
When you're talking about receivers blocking, you just really need them to be just in the way. Right. You just need them to run interference to allow our running back to clear. That's it. You don't need him to be Hines Ward. Like that's rare. You don't really see too many guys who have a passion for blocking. That's an overthrow by Penix.
It took him a little bit to get into this game too.
Yeah, he'd have had to layer it. Now the thing about this, obviously, Washington has 3 receivers, right? So when you're watching the film, it's not going to be just him nonstop, right? Because there's 2 other draftable guys, one of which is a top 10 pick that they feature, right? And they kind of feature all their receivers, but Odunze was clearly the guy that you could tell when they had gotta have the moments, it was him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing where Odunze will stick out is like you're in a clutch situation, you're on that third down, they're gonna almost always target him. They love him in those points where the game matters.
Yeah. Okay, that's him at the top. Is that Odunze again?
Yeah.
What does that mean? That's Odunze again?
That's
Odunze.
Yeah.
Odunze
again.
I'm
working on a small little phone, but when I watch him run, you can see it.
Here he's at the bottom. Polk was open. He held it too long, and then I guess he waited for Odunze. But if you watch this right here, boom, Polk's open. If he lets that ball go right there, you see where he hitched? Did you see where he hitched just now? If he gets that ball out, it's going to Polk immediately. Right here. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, ball out. But he hitched, and then he jumped it down to Odunze.
Get it to him. He late.
Mm-hmm.
He made that play because he's good in track.
Fight through the crash. Fight through the crash. Okay. Look at the receiver act like he just did something special. Number 4. Who threw the pass?
Welcome to UW.
The receivers is funny, bro. They celebrate everything.
Once again, the offensive line making Dylan Johnson's life easier.
Just clearing out.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Penix complaining to the ref. All right, there he is in the slot. Oh, he's getting bracketed.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Hey, we tired of this."
Bracket covered? That's crazy.
When it's funny, when you watch UW, they'll like take turns on who they bracketing like that too.
Mm-hmm. He's
like based off of what the play lots.
Mm-hmm. That's a good adjustment by the defense. Got 2nd and 5. He's in motion. He handed it off again. He's going to score. I remember this game. This game was lit.
Yeah,
it was going back and forth.
They had a game day for this game, I'm pretty sure, too.
Mm-hmm. That was a crazy play.
Yeah. Hate these movements. But it's college football.
Yeah. Only stuff like this only works in college football.
Yeah. Yeah, ask Pat McAfee.
All right, there he is. Sitting on his own. Ball batted down.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the tight end. Oh, right here to the right. But he left-handed, so can't see him.
Was McMillan hurt during the season?
Yeah, for 4 games he was.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed I didn't see him. I don't see him on here.
Yeah, he had a little knee problem.
Makes sense. Penix was a little off in this game.
Yeah, he started very slow.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of picked up as time went on, if I remember right.
2nd quarter.
Hmm. And once again, the good thing you'll see about UW, just in general in their coaching, is like you always see receivers running things that play strength or like best traits. You rarely see them in spots where they're playing to their weaknesses, which makes it really hard to evaluate them, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. He threw a pick.
So it looked like.
Yep.
Oh God! Wow.
A rough one.
If you see though, his feet not set.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We're in the 3rd quarter now. Poke at the top. Run set.
You like a little bit more aggressiveness from him, but he tries. He gets in the way, which is just what you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of these guys are Steve Smith or Hines Ward when it comes to blocking, but I just look for effort, right? When I'm watching guys, I just want to see, are you going to stick your nose in there or you just not even going to bother getting involved? Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. No team wants to play a team that receivers are willingly wanting to block, no matter if they're good at it or not.
No, yeah, DBs don't like being blocked.
No.
They don't like being blocked at all.
Unless you're Kool-Aid McKinstry.
See, that's a perfect example of getting enough of them.
Yeah, he just gives it away.
He didn't smash the kid, but he got enough of them before he can get this inside route.
Enough of them where he wasn't a factor in the play.
Right.
At the top of your screen. Yeah, see. Just stay engaged long enough because they're running your way. He did a good job up there. Look at that. He's not a road grader or anything like that, but he's a receiver first, right? So he's gonna get in there, stick his nose in there, make a block. Solid. Excuse me. Dunze.
Yeah. Sticks out with a sore thumb with these three.
It's crazy, man.
Downfield, man. That's who Penix trusts the most.
Notice, too, how it's always in important situations. That's when he comes out most. The Superman donning the cape.
He also gets most of the vertical routes in this playbook. If you notice, like Polk is running a lot of underneath routes, and
that was one of the weaknesses that some scouts have for him is that he's not good in the 50-50 balls.
Yeah. When he's a little bit slower, when you start to make him go vertical too. Like I said, UW's really good in terms of understanding what their receivers are, putting them in the right spots to run the right routes towards what they are more than what they aren't.
Right.
This bot's on your screen too. Okay. Just make sure you can see it.
all right, in motion. Seems like they use him a lot. They use him a lot on crossing routes and underneath stuff. Also, they bring him in motion a lot. He seems like the primary motion guy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Intermediate guy. So Lord have mercy.
Not a good target.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's like double coverage. Watch 26. Yep. Oh no, it's not 26. It's safety.
One thing you'll see with him a little bit too, and it's more of a nitpicky thing. Once again, I watch a lot of him. He kind of has like a little bit more of not towards like the aggressiveness and run blocking, but like he can kind of be one of those guys who's a tell towards when you're running versus when you're blocking. He doesn't really run into the play the same way.
Was that a miscommunication?
It seemed like it because both of those guys are in the same area, and that spells tip ball interception. I would have liked one of them to keep running and somebody stops, and then I think that'll be a better play.
Yeah.
But it
is
could
right
be
there, though.
an error.
It's out in the zone well.
He gets up and immediately starts flexing.
Penix
That's
loves those
impressive.
moon balls.
Good tag. Good open field tap.
Mm-hmm. You like a little bit better pursuing the safety there, but he's still getting in the way.
I feel like he didn't get a whole lot of opportunities in this game.
Yeah.
And then some of them were miscommunication between him and Penix.
Yeah, and Penix starts this game off a lot really slow too, so it's kind of harder to see him get those opportunities well.
Oh, good catch. Double coverage. Good catch. Look at that old Doomsday. Jeez.
Yeah, he's
That's why he's so good, bro. Watch the back shoulder. With his hands, right? Comes back, plucks it with his hands.
it.
I literally just talked about it yesterday. Like, there's no way you can catch a back shoulder fade with your body. Like, you have to catch it with your hands.
When I stick on the
All right.
stance too, with it.
What y'all think? That wasn't he didn't get a lot of opportunities. I'm gonna go back and see if he had
Well,
another
no, I'm
game.
going to be a little bit more negative. I think he could be a little bit more aggressive, like blocking. I think at times he could show a lot of tells when they're running versus passing. I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I think he has a lot of traits that you like. That's what worries me personally. Is I think when you look at the draft, there's a lot of less physical wide receivers who are that large in frame. And so I could see him getting overdrafted. I personally see him more of a round 3 mid to end. A lot of people see him as a round 2 guy. To me, he just doesn't stick out in that frame. But I know to a lot of people, they see him as a round 2 guy.
All right, here he is against Michigan State.
Yeah.
There's a guy. There's McMillan. All right, there he is, number 2.
And it's funny because this McMillan plays one of the few times he actually has really good ball tracking, which is something I don't like on him a lot. But in this one individual play, he shows it really well.
Okay.
There's a little bit of better run blocking from him too.
Yeah. I like that. It's out. Hold his block long enough. Just bring the running back. Like it. Bottom of screen. Yeah, he definitely needs to be more aggressive. Because that time the DB hit him. He didn't even hit the DB back. He just kind of let the DB.
Well, you'll see you'll see his lack of aggression actually points to a tell as well. A lot of the time.
Right. Oh yeah, you could tell when either the ball's not coming his way, or if he's not involved in the play, right? So then he's kind of it doesn't matter. The play's on the other side. Those are things that could be coached, though. Those are things you can hammer home during film sessions and stuff like that, where you just tell them look, you need to be.
That's the important thing with all these prospects, right? They're not finished products.
Right.
We're going to see them all get a lot better at the next level. That's what's exciting about it.
Exactly. Doomsday.
The one thing that is true about every year is prospects will regress and progress. That's the one thing that's remaining the class. Somebody's going to progress, somebody's going to regress. And part of it is because of what system they're going to go in or what role they're going to be asked to do.
Eric says McMillan is a good ball tracker.
That was an instance of it. I'll give you that.
Oh, 72 just took Odunze out. All right, let's poke at the top of your screen.
I will say he does look a little bit more aggressive in this game as opposed to how he did against Oregon.
Yeah. He's definitely more giving a little more. Oh, good run.
Ooh, broke him off.
Cutting up. Boy, cutting up, man. Penix holds the ball way too long for me.
Yeah, he does.
I like him as a prospect, but he holds the ball too long, and he has a long winding release.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's breaking the ball from all the way back, you know. And
He reminds me of. He reminds me of a 7-on-7 quarterback. I got a bunch of time. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Joe World, Jamari right there. Jordan, you said you don't like AD Mitchell because of effort. Now you're saying it can be coached.
I'm not saying I don't like him because of effort. More with him is the body coaching. I think the effort is a thing, but I think like it could be coached in terms of sense. I'm talking like effort in terms of run blocking when we're watching Polk here, because like his effort in general, like on the routes, isn't what I'm concerned with as much with AD Mitchell. I'm more concerned with how he is on the effort for the run blocking plays when the
good. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about effort. Lord. You see him climb the ladder?
Yep, there it is. Literally right as I'm going on.
So the things I think can be coached is him not giving off telltales to the players away from him, right? You see a lot of players do that, right? If they know the play is going backside or on the other side of them, they're gonna just kind of like come on the line, just pity patter with the defensive back because they know, man, this play is not coming this way, right? Now, an NFL coach will teach him, hey, don't do that. I want you to come off as if you're gonna block or if you're gonna run a route because we don't want to give up signs that the ball's not coming this way based on the way you come off. Right. And so that's why, that's something that can be talked about and coached. I don't think he has a lack of total effort. I think it's more of the ball's not coming my way. So I'm not going to expand a bunch of energy doing nothing when I'm not even involved in the play.
Well, and that's the thing with AD Mitchell too, is like it's not necessarily
it's play.
Yep.
Look at that. Heads up and he scores. So effort is how he's got this pass, because had he just been just whatever, right, he wouldn't have been able to have the wherewithal because that ball was not meant for him. Ball gets tipped, he comes and he's Johnny on the spot, right? So I don't think his issue is effort. I think his issue is, the ball's not coming my way. I mean, not even coming my way, but I'm not even involved in the play. And I say it's a run to the left side.
Yeah, it's more of a run thing than it is a pass.
Yeah, like what am I going all out for when we're running the ball to the left side and I'm on the right side? So
another thing you'll see with Polk too is like he sees the play ahead, like he knows how to follow his blockers. That's why they use him in the screen game a little bit too.
Joe World, AD Mitchell is the easiest bust prospect we've seen in a minute. I don't know about that. Quentin Johnson was an easy one for me last year.
Yeah.
That was pretty easy for me last year.
That's hilarious.
I wouldn't say AD is the easiest. Oh, climb the ladder again, young man.
That's
the third time in this game.
This Michigan State game's a big game for him.
Watch this. I got it, coach. Man.
And that is what he does well. The high points.
And that's what will get him drafted on day 2, right? Because he can climb the ladder. He is athletic. He is a big physical receiver. Right? That's Odunze. He already shown that he can play in an offense where he's not the primary target, right? Because he wasn't the primary target in Washington. Right? That was Odunze. So he knows he can. We know he can come in and play a 2 or 3 role because he's already done it. So that's good to see. The things that he has issues with can be coached. You can coach him more and get him to understand why we got to make everything look the same. Because if we don't, then we give off telltales that the play is going to the other side, right? That's simple. I don't think he has an effort.
And the nice thing about him too, like in terms of, I know I've been mainly negative on him, but like one thing is, even with his lack of speed, he doesn't really have big, like deep ball speed, but like he sees his blockers in front of him while he's running. And it's something that like he does really well.
This ball comes to him as well. Let's see. Also think if he has a quarterback with a quicker release and he plays in a more of a timing offense, he'll be a bigger factor. Penix is holding the ball way too long, and in the time that he's open, by the time he gets to see, by the time he throws the ball, the guys, like some of these guys aren't even open anymore, right? So if he plays in a rhythm timing based offense, or if he plays in an offense just where the quarterback is getting rid of the ball faster, he'll be a much more of a factor.
Absolutely.
A lot of these is just Penix, like Coach says, it looks like a lot of 7-on-7. Like he's just sitting back there waiting for somebody to get open. That's what he's doing. Watch that. Penix gets a snap. He's just da. Like in the NFL, that ball got to been out 2 seconds ago. Old Doomsday doing what old Doomsday does.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
Poke. Corner route. Oh, he just held it so long, man. Just get rid of the football.
Yeah.
This
I almost think that goes back to like his mobile days, where like he was a mobile quarterback coming out. I think he still has some of those habits, even though you don't see him take off as much anymore. Like you'll still see the slow release, still see him progress a little bit slowly.
And his mechanics are like terrible. Like he's throwing off, like he's not even setting his feet. He's just throwing with his arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
he doesn't always use his hips either.
Yeah, he doesn't at all. Like so, yeah. It's actually making me dislike Penix. It's making me dislike Penix.
It's the game they're blowing him out too.
Yeah, they blowing him out too. But his mechanics is not like.
Yeah.
You know, I showed you what I like. I like guys who follow through, get the hips into the throw, steps into the throw. Guys who can get rid of the ball quickly, see it, throw it, right? Don't kind of hold it, waiting for a better shot, right? Like you got to trust your accuracy, trust your ball placement, but then also more importantly, trust your receiver. He's waiting for guys to get open and then he's throwing the ball. That's what Penix is doing. Which I don't like. I don't like wait, see it throwers. Like, you know where the ball is going. The receiver knows where the ball. Let the ball go, man.
Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of speaks to a lot of UW's wide receiver talent too. Is like they like to sit. He likes to sit almost a little too long because he waits for all of them to get open. Because there's so many of them that all have talents, not just these three, but even like the backups have their own skill sets as well.
Right. Like in the NFL, some of these plays, they would be sacks. He would be getting sacked in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get that much time in the NFL.
And that goes back to having that great O-line too. You got Rosengarten, Patano.
Right. But like if you go at the top of the first round, you're probably going to go to a team that doesn't have a great offensive line. So
exactly.
That's the problem. It's like for example, if he got drafted by Vegas, right, which I wouldn't mind seeing. Vegas doesn't have a great offensive line, so he's going to have to be much quicker with getting rid of the ball, or he's going to get hit a lot.
Man, the Dunes is crazy.
Yes, he's getting open all the time. They double team a Pope. I guess he's caused enough damage.
Yeah, you'll notice that a lot of teams like switch off who they double team when it comes to UW. It's kind of really interesting. Like you'll see plays where they do in Polk. You'll even see some of like the games last year where they like will even double McMillan on plays. It's just like they kind of see what gives them.
Shot, he holds onto the ball.
Yeah, and that's kind of like another reason you'll see Penix hold the ball a little bit longer too, because he's kind of adjusting to see what he's got.
Yeah, but you can't do that in the league.
No, exactly.
That was an underthrow.
Mm-hmm.
He had Doomsday had a step. And Doomsday still caught the ball, but he had to stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, coach went out for a second.
Yeah, he had to slow down. Scrambling, throwing. Incomplete. All right. And just throw it away.
Yeah. So different watching a Montana quarterback too.
Eagle Eric said McMillan on the Ravens. Sheesh.
You're just trying to make my life hard, aren't you?
I would love to see McMillan on the Ravens. So that's what me and you disagree. I like McMillan.
Yeah.
I like Polk and McMillan, to be honest. I think they both could fit a role in what we have. Are they the superstar receiver? No, but like at this point where we're picking, it's not too many superstar receivers, right? Maybe Worthy could do that and be that if you take him. Maybe Keon Coleman can be that, as he develops. But to be honest, there's only really 3 superstar receivers in this draft, and that's excuse me, that's the top 3, right? Marvin Harrison, Jose, and Neighbors. Everybody else is like a coin flip. You don't know if they're gonna be stars or not. It depends on the system, right?
Yeah,
where they get drafted will determine how good they will be, and that's it, right? Jalen Pope had a really good game in this game, though. By the way, he went off, making some big catches, high pointing the ball, using his hands. That's what I love. Like, give me a receiver that uses his hands, high points the ball. That's what I like, right? Like, I don't like all that body catching. All right. Last guy of the day. We've done Jalen Pope. We've done Keaton Slovis.
Yeah, I'll add this to like the point of like and talking AD Mitchell versus him because I saw that was in the comments towards me. AD Mitchell, like we're comparing a day 1 guy versus a day 2 guy. It's very different when we're looking at the like difference in that. I do think there's a lack of effort with AD Mitchell at times, but I also think like, yeah, that can be coached in a sense. But like when we're comparing a day 1 versus a day 2 guy, you're looking at that a lot more different than you do with Jalen Polk. Jalen Polk, like I said, I'm more of the opinion. I don't think he's a round 2 guy. I would like him in the high end round, like mid to late round 3. But I do think a lot of people see him as a round 2, especially like teams because of his size. And like there's a lack of that size in this draft class. Like there's a lot of guys who are in that 6 foot range, but you'll see it differently.
Matt Harmon said Keon is best in the big slot role. He can do that. It's on film. He's played the big slot. He's played the outside guy. Done a little bit of everything, to be honest. I don't really look at his lack of overall production. How I grade Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman is graded based on what he can be versus what he was. And what he was he was an offense that asked him to do certain things. And he was very limited when you talk about the quarterback position. He didn't have a great quarterback at Michigan State or at Florida State, if you're being honest.
Imagine if he had Penix.
And right, or imagine if he had Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams. Imagine he played at USC and Lincoln Riley's offense. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. So
it was a surprise, Matt. You said there was a surprise coming.
No. So we're gonna do Xavier Legette.
Okay.
That was what that was a coach request. So we're gonna do Xavier Legette.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah.
My guy.
That's your guy.
Yeah. This is my guy. Look, before we get too far into it, look, if you are out there talking crazy about Xavier Legette, please stop it because I need you to look at the total situation before we start casting judgment on these receivers. The quarterback position plays a vital role in the success of these wide receivers. So if you have a guy that doesn't have a lot of continuity in the offense or even at the school, right, they're not going to come in and throw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. It's just not going to happen, right? You have those anomalies like, hey, okay, you stack a roster and then you bring in like a quarterback like a Bo Nix who's been in school 4 years already. You bring him in that situation. Of course, the guy's a little bit more polished. He had a lot more games underneath his belt. Then he would basically kind of perform a little bit when it comes down to them delivering the ball, stuff like that, and so forth. But if you look at the South Carolina quarterbacks, outside of Spencer Rattler, nobody can really say, hey, okay, these guys were viable quarterbacks in the SEC or in the country or whatever it may be, right? In fact, I would really be surprised if some people can name some quarterbacks from South Carolina that are not South Carolina fans. So I'm not making an excuse, but I am saying, hey, okay, that's why you don't see the 1,000-yard production, the 8 touchdowns, or any other metric you want to use in the first couple of years. So again, when it comes down to it, and Eric, that's perfect that you would say that, because again, this guy can beat man coverage. And I can tell you right now, that's going to be one of the number one things that's going to be asked, if it hasn't been asked to him already. How you feel about man coverage? Because again, in the NFL, if you go 3-by-1, you backside 1-by-1-on-1, it's probably going to be man coverage. So if it's man coverage, can you win in that situation? And if you can, that's the one thing that's going to help you stand out against some of these other wide receivers. So, whenever Matt gets back, we're going to go ahead and get into this film. But
I'm back.
I just had to throw that out there, that disclaimer, even though it seemed kind of long-winded. I just want to basically you guys to see like his production.
See my cat hopping in for a second. Another thing too to like acknowledge is like a lot of these receivers are big like zone guys, so it's interesting to see a guy who like sticks out in man, because a lot of this class is big against zone.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. He's on the line, on the edge of the line. All right, it's like, yep, okay, y'all not coming by me, and so it's fine.
My cat running, I can't believe it.
All right, here we go again. It's outside. But if you look at it, look at the physicality. Like, hey, look, you're not gonna you're trying to press me. That's not gonna work. You need somebody else when it comes down to trying to press them. It's just not gonna work. For the
It's
moment.
a nice little duck under the shoulder too.
Yeah.
Another big thing I like to tell people too, it's like you have the big three of wide receivers right now. It's like once you're picking between 4 and like 9, it's just kind of a pick your flavor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's like the differences between like the 5 and 9 guys. I'm a big nitpicker. I like to pick nitpicks of guys, but it's like in certain situations, like you're looking through the 5 through the 9. There's a lot of situations even like in different places. It's all about where they end up.
Right. And that's the thing, like you can't be lazy with wide receiver or tackle. Even though people say that they're the most deepest positions in the draft, you still can't be lazy with them and just say, hey, look, I'm going to just take this next guy in line, because, again, that particular next person may not fit your offense. But as you guys see, you see that last play, you watch Leggett give number 3 the business out there on the island. Look at him. Look. He's like, oh, God. And it was with one hand. It's like, now, again, 3 probably could have gave him more effort, but still it was like, hey, he's not getting into play whatsoever. So
one thing you like about him too is like we were just watching Jalen Polk, where Jalen Polk kind of like slows down when you can tell it's a run play and stuff like that. He's out here, like he really pushes towards it. And like you'll see him like engage blockers, like he's looking to block. And that's like something different, like as opposed to just getting in the way, he's looking to block.
Right. Oh, he throw it to him. Let him get it. Golly, man. Let's see what we doing. he was open on that player there, and it's underneath right there. Shoot. And then he said, nah, I ain't going to you. I'm going to throw it to the other guy. It's fine. But that guy's good too. I got to see what class he's in. Number 8
That's
and number
nice
1.
grab.
Yeah. Yeah, he if you just see, man, so much of the defense flowed towards him, and then sometimes they couldn't even stop him. Like, look at it right now. It's 5 guys on 3, and they still winning. five Florida guys on 3, and they still like, yeah, we still gonna do our business over here.
Yo, my issue with him though is like he's an older prospect, and it took him a little bit of time to finally like to perform. Like it took him 5 years to perform. That's my only concern. Is like, was last year a 1-year hit wonder, or is that something that we can look forward to? Because there's really nothing before that to actually go off of, right? So, like literally all his film that I have is it's from last year, right? There is no film prior to last year. So
yeah, I'm with you.
I just need to know, is last year an aberration, or is last year just the beginning?
I mean, I don't think he had a quarterback to 1,000 yards since he's been there, though. Like one quarterback individually. There was a guy started out with a guy, I think he got like 600 yards. Next guy got like 600 yards, and then that was the end of their season. And then I know he was injured in sophomore year, I want to say. So, yeah. Again, yeah, I mean, I'm not making excuses for him, but it's just
no. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying some of these guys didn't have really great. I mean, some other guys didn't have really great quarterback play either. I mean, we just talked about Keon Coleman and what he had to go through at Michigan State and at Florida State. I mean, Jordan Travis was a little bit of an upgrade, but not much. When you think about some of the other guys in this class that didn't have great quarterback play. But they still perform. It just, again, when you think about a guy with that combination of size, speed, right, and just athletic ability, you ask yourself, man, why wasn't this guy better, right? Like, even if against the superior talent like Alabama, he struggled. But what about against like the bad teams, right? Like, why did, you know what I mean, throughout the years? It's just one of those questions. That's all.
And his speed
I'm not
fast,
saying he won't be better in the league, but that is a question that he's going to have to answer when he's meeting with teams. I'm sure he's already answered those questions at this point.
And his speed is fast, but like there's times where it doesn't show on film too. That's my only 2 things on him though. It's like the age and that. But he's interesting. I'll give him that.
Oh, for real. He ran fast in the 40. The gauntlet drill looks to be like not his wheelhouse. Like he's not super natural hands catcher. But he's still developing. How old is he? Is he 25, 26? I mean, he can't be 26, right?
no, he's not 26. He can't be 26. He
can't.
26.
Yeah, it's Chris Winkie.
Right, 25.
Yeah,
he's 25.
I don't know. I didn't look at it.
They say 38.
Bro, you're 38. We need to talk.
All right, there's a different film now. There's a different film.
Right. Hold on. Why is it
he's moving well for a 38-year-old.
It's another guy named Xavier Leggett, and he's showing up as 38.
No, sir. So yeah. Outside of Spencer,
he's 23. He's 23. He'll be okay. Cool. He'll be 24 next year.
Okay.
In January.
Dang.
I thought he's between 24 and 25, so that's better than what I thought.
That's a good age. I like that. That's a good age.
So yeah, his quarterback. Just to put it in perspective, he had a 975, a 721, a 690, a 160, all in the same year. So God dang, I don't know how that. I don't even know how this kid even did what he did. Period. So again, I like what I got.
Just read off his quarterbacks.
You said what now?
You just read off his quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was his quarterbacks in 1 year. That was 2021, and then 20.
Bro, listen to this man's stats, bro. 2019 he had 80 yards. 2020 he had 113 yards. That's for the whole season. 2021 he had 63 yards.
Right.
But he had and then he exploded for 1,200 yards this year. So imagine going from 167 yards for the whole season. He played 13 games and exploding for 1,200. That's insane.
Yeah.
Right.
That is crazy.
But then again, I look at the quarterbacks the year prior to that, right?
Yeah, I know, but like to go from 167 for the whole season to 1,200, that's a huge jump.
You may not have been the guy. You may have been the third or fourth guy.
True.
If you're the third or fourth guy, it happens like that. And then
I did read where he was dealing with some issues too, like some off the field stuff.
Yeah, he was injured too. I think he only played 8 games one time.
Yeah, he did. He played 8 games one time. Then the year before he blew up, though, he played 13 games.
Yeah.
And had 167 for the whole season. I'm like, sheesh. But again, that's why you need context, right? Because sometimes stats don't always tell you the truth. Those stats will tell you this dude was terrible, but then context will tell you, well, he missed some time due to personal issues, personal family problems, or he was playing through the personal family problems, and it was a huge distraction to him. Now he's going to be a pro, though. Here's the thing: when you get to the NFL, you're going to still have personal issues, but now football is no longer something you do; it's your job, and you're going to be expected to perform regardless of what's going on in your personal life. And can he do that, right? Can he bring his hard hat to work every day and perform regardless of what's going on outside? That's going to be the test for him. Because if he says that to a GM or head coach, hey, the reason why I didn't put up numbers before was because look at that. Was because I had some personal stuff.
That's beautiful right there, though.
That was beautiful. That was crazy. Was because I had some personal stuff going on. Then they're gonna be like, well, so if you have some personal stuff later, then what? We're not gonna have a good receiver, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to know.
Right.
He's a freak athlete, though. Look at that. That was crazy. That was crazy. And then it was all hands. You know, I love that.
Right. That's right.
It was a little funny saying he's 38. That was funny. That was, a little jokey joke, but no, he's an intriguing prospect. He's definitely, because when you run a 40 like he did at his size, the intrigue is going to be there. The offensive coordinators in the league, the wheels are going to start spinning. Like, ooh, we can, things that we can do with this kid.
Well, and I'll scream this out too with it. It's like when you have those types of seasons and you have those low numbers, it's like that's why you can see a lot of his efforts to kind of build. Like we were just talking about Jalen Polk in the run game. He literally looks like he's throwing that effort in that run game. He's trying his best. And you can see it's because of where he came from. Like that partially throws all that into it because he's just trying to get on the field when you only have those types of years.
He's doing everything at max speed, which I love. Right, like I don't, that's the issue with AD Mitchell. AD talking about he don't do stuff at full speed, so I don't. Yeah, I'm cool. I don't need that.
And I don't think he like. To me, it's like I never thought he like flashed what his speed was on tape as hard, but in terms of effort, you see it every play, which is something that's really fun to watch with him. There he goes.
Boy, Spencer
Rattler too small.
No, he was pointing to the ground.
Oh, okay. I was like, no way. QB doing that?
I think he was pointing like it was a first down or the spot of the ball, I think. Mm-hmm. Action. Spencer Rattler got some good tools. He got some stuff you can work with.
Yeah, I'm still screaming Giants for him.
He reminds me of Baker Mayfield. That's what Rattler got. He got some Baker to him. He's got that like gunslinger. He'll talk trash to you. But South Carolina had another good receiver on the other side of him too. Kid went back to school though. He was solid as well.
Yeah, they had a few receivers there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what his name was. I can't remember his name offhand. I'm terrible with names, but he's a he'll be in next year's draft. He had a chance to come out this year, but he decided to go back to school. Antoine Wells Jr. Yeah, Antoine Wells Jr. He pro prospect.
And see, they had Kevin Harris. It was on their team. Man, holy shucks! Oh no, I'm sorry. It's yeah. So they spread it around the yard mostly. Nick Muse, Jalen Brooks, Josh Fan, Kevin Mullins, or Kevon Mullins. They had a few different guys. Like, I'm like, hold on, what? Wait a minute. But their whole receiving core. Oh gosh. Oh, they had Shy Smith too. So their whole receiving core caught less than 10 touchdowns in that whole year in 2020. And then in 2021, let's see what they did as a receiving core. They got a little better, so they got about 15, 16 touchdowns amongst each other. But he still was playing with he had some good receivers again. Nick Muse again, Jalen Brooks, EJ Jenkins, and Trey Atkins, those guys. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm just happy we got a chance for him to get on the field.
Yes, sir.
We would have never
exactly.
found this kid. I like how he instantly goes celebrate with his teammate too. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a selfish player. So
I think that's the thing, and like a lot of with this general draft class, you don't really see a lot of fully selfish guys, but it's like this individual draft class. It hasn't happened in a while. It's kind of interesting.
Right. You think kids are starting to get it now? Like, hey,
yeah,
look,
exactly.
you're not going for that stuff.
You hope so, at least.
Right.
You don't have a lot of divas in this draft. You got a lot of even Marvin Harrison. He's the top receiver in this draft, and he's like literally the opposite of a diva. Like,
right,
lunch pail guy. Like, he's like a lot like his dad.
Right.
Just come in, at work, go home.
Right. If his dad was 6'4", though, he'd probably be talks to the GOAT.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Run through the tackle, young man. Run through the tackle.
Right. Did you see that block out there, though?
Yeah, staying engaged.
He just stonewall. He just stonewall, buddy. He was like, yep.
Number 8. Number 8 wasn't
talk about effort.
Yep. Number 8 wasn't having a good time at all.
Oh no. He got highlighted in the film and filmed the next day. Next day, like, yeah, tell me what happened right here.
Big body, old school receiver. Who do you comp him to, Coach? Do you have a comp for Mr. Leggett here? Or Leggett?
Oh man. I like the comp I got for him. It was Demaryius Thomas. That's the comp I got for him. Because he wasn't a super fast guy. He was quick enough, strong hands, big enough body. That was the comp I got for him.
Here come Joe Burrow. AJ Brown.
To throw some shade in there.
No, he said AJ. They always be trying to make me angry. I don't want to be angry.
Joel, what's your comp for Willie Snead?
AJ Brown.
No, I mean AJ Brown. Nah, I guess I can see where people get it from the AJ Brown, but I don't think he's. Yeah, this is Leggett pushing. I don't think he's AJ Brown. I think he's a little shorter. Doesn't play. I don't know. I gotta come up with a comp for him. But let's do one more with Georgia.
And forgive me, he's the guy that people thought was 6'4" too, right?
Right. They thought he was 6'4", and then he came in at like 6'1".
Yeah.
So he was like definitely on the small side. So I was kind of disappointing. But he had a good game in this game against Georgia. So I kind of want to see the all 22 of what he did. So he came in at 6'1". Let me see. What was his height weight?
It's on my Twitter.
All right. So let's see what his draft profile is. There it is. From the combine, he came in at 6'1", 221 pounds. They have his comp being. Let me see. They gave a comp on here. They got him as a day 2 prospect with potential to develop as a starter.
Is this the NFL.com one?
Yeah, he ran 4.39. Had a 40-inch vertical jump. 40-inch vertical.
That's why I was saying Demaryius Thomas, because he's similar. He just looked 2 inches shorter. Same type of build. Same type of build, same type of work ethic, same type of running ability. So, and some people saying DK Metcalf. I'm like, okay.
You know, some people are gonna wild in.
They say he's got a boom or bust potential. I mean, in today's NFL, with the game being wide open, he should boom. There's no reason for him to bust.
Yeah. Like for sure. He got to. Even then, you still got to go to a savvy enough quarterback. Because if you go to a crappy situation, we've seen what that looked like already.
Right. We don't need him to end up in like New England. That wouldn't be good.
Right. Joins the wide receiver 3 parade.
Right.
Right. He does get separation though, which I do like.
Oh yeah, you see the crazy part about it though. He gets separation without a lot of wiggle. Like he don't even need a lot of wiggle. He just
he's more of a straight line guy. You could definitely see he's like a one move and go, right? A one cut and go guy. Like he gonna give you something at the top at the beginning of the route, and then you just gonna get downfield.
Right.
Which goes back to my point too. It's like I don't think he necessarily shows that speed all the time on film, but he knows how to get open. We get that buffering screen. Surprised my cat's not around. He would be knocking that shit right now.
He can't remember. He kind of reminds me of like another guy who played in South Carolina, and that's what's his name? Hold on, where am I joining at? What is it looking like right now?
Sidney Rice?
No, not Sidney Rice. Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey?
Yeah. Alshon is not as fast. What's going on with this? Hold on. Alshon wasn't as fast, but
Matt versus the internet.
Yeah.
Matt versus the internet, the real one-on-one matchup.
I know, bro. It's pissing me off. It literally just started last week, and then all of a sudden, like, it gives me issues. Hold on 1 second.
There you go. Or as he leaves, it's going fine. Oh, I jinxed it. That's on me.
All right, I'm back.
Rattler deadly take. He's definitely taking what the defense is giving him early on in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I ain't trying to get in a shootout. I'm just trying to take what they give me.
Let's try it again. All right, let's try this. Hold on. All right, let's try it again. We'll pick up right where we left off.
I mean, while he's working on that, I feel like something that definitely sticks out is like as opposed to Polk, you see the aggressiveness in the run game. You see the aggressiveness when the play's away from him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always trying to play it what he can. And that comes back to like he didn't get a lot of reps when he was younger. So like you see him constantly trying to make the most of what his opportunity is.
At this point, Georgia was #1 team in the country too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they was like, hey, look, we're trying to upset them.
Man, if this was just the film on him, like if the other years didn't happen, we'd be talking about him way higher than he is.
Oh yeah.
Just that effort's crazy.
Did you see this guy tried to push him down? He barely
went. That's exactly what made me say it. I'm like, oh.
Most receivers would have been bodied. They're like, all right, I'm done. I can't go nowhere, coach. Nah, dude, like, what you trying to do, man?
Well, and that's a funny thing. You'll see that with a lot of this class too, where a lot of guys, once contact hits them, they kind of fly off their route. They fly off what they're doing.
Right.
He's really sticking out in that regard.
Pushing says Leggett is a great value Andre Johnson.
Forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but that's the colors, right? I'm colorblind, so I don't know if I can see it as well.
Texans colors?
I can't see
Who
red.
colors? Whose colors you talking about?
South Carolina.
It's compared to whose colors?
Oh, I just can't see to the Texans. I can't see red, green. So
no. So yeah, Houston is blue and red. And
y'all should see me during that Jets Patriots color rush game. I was lost.
Yeah, South Carolina is like black and burgundy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rattler just thought that big.
That's what I was laughing at.
It's just not. It's just a little kid, man, running around back there. All right, let's see if we get busy right here.
Yeah, I think this is the one. Oh no, he had another play similar to that where he was able to get out. That's a great tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Great tackle. They definitely shading that safety towards him.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. Every play, they like, nah, we ain't going for that. Rattler's trying to like not look over there. He trying hard. He like, nah, I can't look over there. I'm gonna alert them. They're like, nope, we don't care what you're doing. We shading.
Oh.
Hey, his wide receiver buddy hung him out to dry.
He got hit in the chest. Boom. That was the get to, wasn't it, yo?
Yeah, that was a good. Number 9 hung him out to dry.
Hit him in the chest. Hey, Georgia will do that to you.
Oh yeah.
They got athletes all over the field, man.
Yeah.
They damn water boys are 5-star. They got athletes everywhere, for real.
Rattler looks sporadic in this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is games like this is why he's not like considered a top quarterback prospect, because when the
That's what
competition
shot him from the early round one when the original started to where he's at now.
Mhm.
yeah, because when the competition goes up, he goes down.
Mhm. Yeah, because I remember seeing early prediction. It's like he's a top 10 pick, and I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dang,
He
man.
was balling against. Remember the last film? He was balling against Florida, right? Florida sucks.
Mhm.
But he's balling against them. He's showing that bravado, everything. This game, he's like erratic as hell. He's throwing the ball high. He's throwing the ball late. Yeah. This is the film I show people when people say stuff like, "Well, Spencer Rattler should be the next quarterback and he should be in the second round and all that." I'm like, man, no.
Mhm.
No.
He should be QB7.
There's a big story. There's a big difference between where Spencer Rattler was originally supposed to be when he first came out of high school versus what he is, and those two things aren't the same.
And people obsessed because they see like a Dak, a Jalen Hurts, or a Russell Wilson go like in the mid rounds, and they like think, oh, like we could get that. No, it doesn't happen every time, bro. That ain't how it goes.
All right.
Caleb Williams took this man's job at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a class where you're going to see like 5 to 6 wide receivers early.
Yep.
I mean, quarterbacks. It's my bad.
That's crazy. Like, yep. This is just a throwaway, but I'm gonna come down with it.
Shoot my shot. Goes back to that upper. Man, Spencer Rattler is so erratic.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Jaden Daniels from?
California or Arizona? Because
Are we talking like hometown?
Yeah, he's from California, San Bernardino. So there's a report out here that, according to Evan Silver, after he met with the Commanders, Daniels is rumored to be intent on playing for New England after Daniels' meetings with Washington didn't go as smoothly. Jaden Daniels to New England. So then Jaden Daniels retweets this same tweet and says, "Looking forward to my upcoming visits. Glad to be home."
Damn, he actually retweeted. I was gonna say nah, but then now he put it.
No, he retweeted in the way he didn't say, "Oh, this is true. This is not true." He said, "I'm looking forward to my upcoming visit. I'm glad to be home." Like, what does that mean? Is there some truth to this? Like, wow.
He just wants those Raiders.
Right.
Looking forward to my upcoming visit. Glad to be home. So someone posts a clip saying, well, it's a picture of him in a Patriot uniform. And this is according per Evan Silver, who is, y'all know Evan Silver, NFL Network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniels is rumored to be intent on playing for New England after Daniels' meeting with Washington didn't go as smoothly. Jaden Daniels to New England, question marks. Now, this was posted by Savage Sports, which is a Boston thing, and they got 47,000 followers. So they must be something. And then he retweets that and says, "Looking forward to my upcoming visits. Glad to be home."
Interesting.
I don't know if he's trying to say like, "I'm glad to be back home in Louisiana or California, and I'm looking forward to the visits." Like, no big deal, or at the end of the day, he realizes that he has no control over who picks him. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I wonder if that puts any fire to the smoke about the JJ McCarthy rumors, though.
What, to the Commanders?
Yeah.
The Commanders are taking the quarterback at 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which quarterback? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We're all Jaden Daniels today, but that's a little bit concerning.
All right. Which I don't see the Patriots fit either. That's the crazy part about it. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go from LSU with all the receivers to go to the Patriots with nothing.
No.
Godly.
With no receivers. I don't know about that, buddy. I mean, they can always trade back into the first round and get a receiver.
Yeah.
To help them out.
Yeah, they're gonna need it. They're gonna definitely need it.
Sure. That'd be interesting. Great value, Andre Johnson. It's funny. Good open field tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Georgia got, though. They do that well.
No way for Rattlers to survive that. It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah, Rattler's getting murdered, man.
Right? You see why he got them jitters now, right?
Oh, he should have let it go.
Right.
Bro, look at this play. He should have let it go.
The wild thing about
open.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it.
Yeah. The wild thing about all of it, though, the game is only 14-17 at this point. That's the wild part. As crazy of a beating Rattler has taken, he's down 3 points.
Well, that's because South Carolina's defense.
Yeah.
Those Gamecocks.
Lord have mercy. How you drop that ball?
100%.
Wow.
What quarter are we in right now? Does anyone know?
Third, right? We're in the third now.
Man, it's just moving everywhere.
It's like, for my dear life, you gotta run for my dear life.
God, at this point, he's just startling, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so prepared for it, he's instantly running.
Right. He's not even trying to set his feet. He's just out of there. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I gotta run to one side.
His able to get film session turned into Spencer Rattler Survivor Series.
Right.
Spencer Rattler just trying to live. He's trying to make it to the draft.
And it's crazy though, because a good bit of times he's open. You just can't give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Lord. God dang.
Got a little slip up there. It's hard to judge anyone against Georgia, man.
I mean, the only team you can judge them off of is Alabama or either the Ohio State game.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only teams I've seen that really had like true success against them. Rattler's like, nah, I ain't taking no more.
Like I said, he's at this point where he's just running for his life, even before anything breaks down. Oh my gosh, he's just getting mauled.
Yeah, you're gonna earn it in this game. This is what the NFL gonna be like.
Yes, sir.
Well, this game prepared him for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Your NFL moment happened before the NFL.
Right.
The man left the game and said, "I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I think I got a good idea now."
All start.
Man, this was a struggle offensively for these guys.
Yeah. Which points towards the Leggett truthers too.
Yeah. I mean, he still had 200. Who did he go off on? Yards in.
Games he probably went off. Let me see.
He's I mean, from a height, weight, speed perspective, man, he's a really interesting prospect.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to where he ends up, right, and how they utilize him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, so he went off against. He got 2 touchdowns against Kentucky. He got 100 against Vanderbilt. He got two something against Jacksonville State. He got one. He got North Carolina was a good game for them. He had 9 for 178.
Okay.
Then he had 7 catches for 71 in this game. That didn't seem like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a solid game for him. It was struggling.
And not on him, obviously.
And then Kentucky, he had 6 catches for 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Clemson, he had 6 catches for 68 yards, no touchdowns.
Okay. So
Honestly, kind of a perfect game to watch his like whole draft analysis. It depends on what's around him.
I mean, it's good. I mean, we got to see Florida, which was one.
Right.
He made a lot of plays in Florida. They beat Florida pretty good. And in Georgia, it was the opposite, right? Where he got his numbers, but it was slow eating because Georgia's so good, and you got to earn everything you get, right? When you play in Georgia. So those are two good opposite ends of the spectrum games to look at. When you want to look at one where it was pretty much easy pickings, then you want to look at one where it was a bit of a struggle. How many yards did he have against Florida?
I think 120. Florida, 110.
Yeah,
5 for 110.
Yeah, so he had the 5 for 110. So those big plays, right? Whenever you got 5 catches for 110 yards, that means you are making big plays down the field. And then in the Georgia game, it was a struggle, right? I mean, he put up 70, but it was a hard-earned 70 yards. So that's good. I mean, it goes to show you that he can slug his way through a game, right? It ain't gonna always be pretty. You're not gonna play, shoot, man. The NFL got so good. I can't even name a team that like really sucks anymore. Like everybody's solid. Like I don't even know, man. Like bottom? Carolina, I guess. Like you're not gonna play the Panthers every week, right? You might be playing the Steelers, and it's gonna be like that. Right. So you might be playing the Eagles, where it's a little tougher. So that was good to see. All right, give me your takeaways on the guys we looked at. What stood out about them, good and bad.
How about Coach start?
So first guy we looked at was Rosengard. I loved his adjustments. Loved his approach to the game. For me, it's a lovely sight to see linemen actually involved in the game instead of saying, "Hey, all I do is block." The intricate details matter, and you having a player like that for me, that spells for me as volumes. It speaks volumes because now that's one less layer I got to break through to teach you to do it on your own. I don't have to teach you to do it. You're going to do it on your own, which is cool. The things that I didn't like, if you want to say, I didn't see can he get out and advance to the next level? Like I got it. You may not have the tackle to have to do that all the time, but can I put a tight end next to him and him wrap around the tight end and advance upfield? That's the stuff that I want to see him be able to do. Because if you end up in a place that like to run the ball, unorthodox like that, and you're not just sealing the edge, then I need to know that you can do that. And then the next guy we looked at was the quarterback, right?
Slovis.
Again, he has a quick processing trigger, which is cool. But I need to see some bigger throws from him because it seemed like the offense that he was in, it was more of a training wheels type of offense. Because if I'm gonna say if I'm down, the metric is gonna be if I'm down 15 points, 20 points. Can he make big throws in crunch time situations to put me back in the game? That's the one thing that I need to see from him. But again, the quick trigger should kind of offset some of that reason for him have to be in the game down 20 points or whatnot. The next guy, wide receiver, Jalen Pope, super fluid guy. A lot of shiftiness with him. Can get in and out of breaks. Not going to have a lot of issues at the next level. The thing about it with him is like, hey, okay, is he going to get a big enough role right off the rip? Because I kind of see if he goes to a team, he's basically going to be a complimentary piece to the point to where he's not going to be highlighted. And then now it's like, hey, okay, he has to kind of find his way through the NFL because people are not going to give him a big enough role in the offense. The thing that I did like about him when he was called upon, he was reliable for what they needed him to do, the short intermediate type of throws. And be honest with you, that can win you a Super Bowl, because if you complement that with a good run game, or even a big threat, if you're a big deep that you already have, you kind of run people off with decoys, and now you can come back to him underneath, which is just as reliable as any other part of the game itself. And then the last guy, Xavier Leggett, look, just his ability alone, like I got it, the stats are not there. You know, he'll have a 2,000-yard receiving season or something like that. But I will, ask everybody, all the guys that do have those 2,000 yards seasons don't have them in the NFL, right? So again, it's about your system and about what you're going to ask him to do, right? If I'm not going to throw the ball to you 14 times a game, I'm going to throw it to you 4 times, and you can come up with 3 out of 4 of those catches, and 3 out of 4 of those catches, one's a touchdown, I'm good with that, because that may be the next leap that we need to make as an offense to get us into a Super Bowl contention or even win a Super Bowl. So I just think the expectations for receivers are going to be different, whether it be first round, second round, third round, fifth round, sixth round. It's going to be different, not just because of where they're picked. It's going to be different because of what the offense they're going to go to and what they're going to be asked to do right off the rip.
Great. Like it. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, so first off, thank you guys for having me. Hope I can make a few more of these because it's been a blast.
Yeah, man, this is fun. Just going to watch a film.
Yeah, it's fun to watch it with other people too, because you definitely get different viewpoints on how people see the game, and it's just really fun to see. Going on the prospects, hopefully I can make more of these in the future. Rosengarten, you can definitely see how much he attends, and in terms of what we're talking about right now, he watches the film. You can see what he's doing to adjust. You see him take a lot of really good adjustments. He can see things before they happen almost, and it's really nice to see. A lot of effort in terms of being able to see, even if he's not involved in the play, he'll try to get himself involved, and that's what's big. Once again, going on to a few of the struggles, just a little bit, and we didn't see it as much in this film, but in terms of what he's shown in other films as well, he does have a little bit of a harder time getting to the second level if it's not DBs or in space on a screen. That's something he's gonna have to improve on the next level. But in terms of when he can see a guy in front of him, really good at it. Slovis, I thought Slovis had some really solid film. We didn't actually get to see a lot of the athleticism that he has. Very quick in terms of deceptions. You can always see that he's moving his eyes around, which is really good. When you see a guy who can typically run that fast, you don't really see a lot of people who go between their reads. They trust their legs a little bit more. He's kind of a rare instance of being able to trust his arm a little bit more. You would like to see him hit a little bit better on timing and some of those aspects of it. But once again, we're talking about a day 3 guy. So it's very different when we're talking about a day 3 guy versus a day 2, day 1. Going into Polk, once again, I don't want to seem like a hater, but I would like to see a little bit more effort there. Definitely has a lot of great high points when he's high pointing the ball. He's in good situations. You want to see him better when the ball is away from him. You want to see more of his involvement. He does a lot of more of those short, quick games because once again, UW tries to use their receivers where they're at their best. So you see it a lot with his film in terms of he's not really going to be a burner. He would like him to have a little bit more speed at his size. He just doesn't have that. That's what he is. But at the same time, you could still make an impact even with that lack of speed at the next level, just depending on what the system is that brings him in. Ironically, when we watch Leggett, it's kind of the opposite, where you see a lot of that high effort when he's involved in run plays. He's actually trying to go forward. You see a lot of that because of his lack of, because as we were talking about earlier, you see that he's an older prospect. So he sees more of a willingness to block. He sees more of a willingness to try and show all of that effort because he hasn't really got a lot of aspects to show what he is. We saw it a lot in especially the last game with Georgia, where you don't necessarily, that's a classic question of judging a prospect off of his stats versus his tape. You'll see him get open, but it's not ironically always around him, because when you're watching what's around him, he's not always in those situations because of how the pass production is, because of how so many things are around him, that it doesn't really highlight his strengths. So at the next level, it's going to be interesting once he gets in a better situation to see how that goes. It's a little bit older. Over lengths, I think he does he doesn't run quite as fast, but I think he does show high effort, which is really good to see. I'll leave it off to Matt.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, you guys perfectly said it, man. I'm not going to be long at all. I'm just it was good to watch some of these guys that we haven't really done a deeper dive into. Some of these guys I've watched before my own, but then like I wanted to kind of watch with you guys and see what you saw. Jalen Polk, obviously, my comp family, TJ Houshmandzadeh, just like Steve Smith, and it's very similar. Like Coach said, very easily in and out of his breaks. He's got strong hands. He's shown that at times during the film session. He will go up and attack the football at his highest point. I do love that. I do love a guy who uses his hands and shows confidence in his hands. He has a really low drop percentage in college as well. Love that. And he can play as a role player, right? He's not going to be a guy who's going to come in and not be engaged because he's the number 3 receiver, right? Because he played that role in college, right? He was the number 2, number 3 in college. So he's already used to being, more of a piece, right, than the main guy. But he's a guy who can work into that because he does have all the skill sets. He just has to continue to develop and evolve. We'd like to see a little bit more out of him when it comes to blocking and effort given away from the play. But I get it. Some guys, when the ball's not coming there, when the play is the opposite direction, they kind of zone out a little bit, or they like, all right, I'm not going to give a bunch of effort when it's a run play to the left side and I'm on the right side, right? Whatever. That can be coached. That can be talked about. Rosengarten, listen, while everybody's talking about Fatano, we need to be talking about Rosengarten. He actually protected Penix's blind side. He is really good with the quick with his punch, his initial punch, and his kick slide is so smooth. He is grimy and grungy in the run game while being really technical in the pass game. He can get out and move when they pull the tackles. He's athletic enough to get out there and take on safeties and corners. So overall, I really like Rosengarten. Day 2 pick for me, second round specifically. And then we have Slovis, Keaton Slovis. I love his mechanics. I love his kids' mechanics. I love his moxie. Like, he's a kid that if you get him in the right system and you got a veteran who's already established and you can just mold him, this kid can definitely play, man. And if you put him in the Shanahan system, you put him in the Andy Reid system, and this kid can really, really be something at the next level. He's got some talent. He's got plenty of arm talent. He's again good mechanics. Needs to be a little bit better on this decision making, and doesn't have the strongest arm, but he can get the ball out there, especially when he's playing with pace and anticipation. And then Xavier Legette, big, physical, fast, strong hands. Will go up and get the ball at his highest point. He was open a lot during that session, even though he wasn't getting the ball. Ball wasn't coming his way, but he was open. And in the run game, he's vicious. He will block you, and he will stay blocked. Like that a lot. Somebody mentioned Andre Johnson with him. Somebody mentioned A.J. Brown with him. Some people mentioned, rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas. Big body, fast guy. I mean, every team can use a dude who's 6'1" and runs a 4.3. I mean, just being honest. Every team can use that. So day 2 guy for me with him. Also, where he ends up will matter. Like Coach mentioned earlier, does he have a quarterback? Is there a system in place? Right? Because a guy like that, you don't want him to just end up in no man's land. And then, he wondering why he didn't produce. So other than that, man, that's it for the Draft Nerds. Thank you for rocking with us, man. This has been I know we was long, but that's what happens when you're in a film session, right? We try not to do like little 45-minute snippets because we want to give you a real aspect of what like a film session would be if you were sitting in there with your coaches or your teammates and you're watching film. Film sessions are about 2 hours long. They're about 3 hours long, right? We're just sitting there, we're just chopping up film and talking ball. And I appreciate you guys for coming on the ride with us. Yeah, over 200 people watching this stream. So thank you so much. Continue to rock with us on YouTube, on Twitter, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcast. Keep rocking with us. Coach, we're already We got Jordan and myself. And until next time, peace.
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 Good day, y'all.